This episode of Beaten Down is brought to you by Arco Roofing.
Are you in need of a new roof? Look no further than Arco Roofing. With nearly 20 years in the residential and commercial construction business, Arco Roofing doesn't just know how to re-roof your house or business, they understand how it was built.
Maybe you don't need a complete re-roof. Perhaps just a repair will do. Arco's experienced team can assess your situation and provide the best solution for your needs, whether it's a minor fix or a full replacement.
Also mention that you heard about them on the Beaten Down podcast, and you'll receive $500 off any new roof.
Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your biggest investment with Arco Roofing. Call them today with your free roof report at 940-654-9096 or 817-304-1065. Again, that's Arco Roofing at 940-654-9096 or 817-304-1065. This episode of Beaten Down is brought to you by ABC Dump Roll-Off Dumpster Rental. ABC Dump is a locally owned and operated company. With 11, 15, 20, and 30 cubic yard dumpsters, they have the size for every occasion. Whether you're remodeling the house, cleaning out the garage, or doing commercial construction, they have the right size for your project. With upfront pricing and easy online ordering, ABC Dump makes ordering a dumpster as simple as possible. Give them a call or text at 682-803-8031 or order online at abcdump.net. That's abcdump.net.
And we're back.
Are we?
Yes, we are actually back.
We are actually back.
We were actually somewhere.
I dressed up for you tonight. Calling balls and strikes all night long.
There's more balls right down the middle.
Dude, it was nice and warm out there. It was like muggy out there tonight.
Yeah.
There was no wind blowing. It was just.
It wasn't breezy? There was wind blowing today?
There was wind blowing when I was coaching.
Oh yeah.
Like say, you didn't feel your hair like?
No, my hair
going?
refused to blow in the wind for some reason, and I don't know why.
My hat almost blew off 5 times.
Was
while I
it
up
blowing
there.
that bad? Not when I was there, dude. It was dead.
Yeah, because I had to walk like this to keep my hat on.
Tristan again, so he's helping coach pitch.
No, I'm basically a coach. I pitch to the kids.
He is
real
getting a
kids.
great taste of what it was like coaching him at that level, where just no one listens.
You want them to be so good, but it's like hit a brick wall every time you try to make them good.
It's very frustrating.
Okay, Blake, you're going to have to speak up or turn your mic up.
He messed with it before. That's
I know
why.
he did.
Shut up.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Kiss my ass.
But no, it's the minor division, and I was umping softball tonight. The minor division, and there is just zero pitching, and so you're just
walk.
But it was a Millsap team, and they actually had a girl that, when she was warming up, looked professional. When kids got up there to bat, she was a little all over the place. And so I talked to the coach. I was like, dude, if she could figure it out, like, she would be awesome.
How old are they?
This is like 9 and 10.
Yeah, so she
9 and 10.
So she might be a badass when she gets older.
Right.
Mine's 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And so he goes, we'll pull her the second inning, bring her back the third inning, and she'll be spot on. And I said, okay. And she really was, like, she looks like she's going to be a great pitcher. I don't know if she gets nervous when other kids are up there or what, but with no one up there, like, she is laser focused in. The next girl they brought in for the second inning, she was okay. She was just really all over the place. And they brought that girl back in on the third inning. And again, she was like high and outside, just even. It's minor division, so my strike zone is just swing the bat, basically.
Just get it close.
Like, I was like, I can't even. But she was a good pitcher, and what I like to do with I always try to calm everybody down. So no matter if they're a terrible pitcher or not, I'll walk out and in between, and I'm like,
what the hell? Oh God.
oh,
I'm like, hey, where did you learn to pitch? I'm like, hey, where'd you learn to pitch? And they'll be like, my mom or this is my first time to pitch or whatever. We got some in studio guests with us right now. Toby came in. And so this girl, I walked out and I was like, hey, I said, where'd you learn to pitch? And she's like, huh? I said, who taught you how to pitch? Your mom? Her mom was one of the coaches.
Yeah.
I was like, was your mom teaching? She goes, yeah. I said, well, you're a good pitcher. Keep it up. And I tried, I'm always, I want them to know it's going to be okay, and I don't ever tell them, hey, it's going to be okay. You'll be fine or whatever. I'm just like, hey, you're a good pitcher.
Yeah.
Just keep it up, And I'll talk to, doesn't matter whether it's softball, baseball, whatever. I just try to keep them. You may have to help him out. Try to keep them calm.
Yeah.
Because they, especially as a pitcher, they get flustered and rattled and.
Yeah, keep them and encourage them.
Make them feel good.
They've got to have fun a little bit.
Dude, and she became a professional pitcher.
Right.
She was, every pitch was a strike. Those girls, it was coming in hard and fast, and the girls were always behind on the swing. And I went, so when we were done, I walked over there, I go, dude, I said, she is a really good pitcher. Because the coach, he was like, the one that was like, oh, she'll come in. And he goes, I told you. He goes, it just took her one more inning to find it. I go, I went out and told you. I told him what I told her. And they just kind of started laughing. And I was like, it was insane how she went from all over the place to just everything was a strike.
Down.
It was crazy.
Relax.
But I'm like, well, you're welcome, because I went out and talked to her and calmed her down.
One of the grandparents, after every game, so it started from the beginning of the season where we were barely hitting as I was pitching. He comes up to me after every game. How many strikeouts you have tonight?
Same joke every time.
I go, way too many. I walk off, and I can hear him. He goes, dude, there was one game. He had so many strikeouts. I go, look, I can't help it. I'm throwing it to where they can hit it. Yeah. They just refuse to either swing it or hit it, which I actually made one kid cry today. Yeah. I felt bad.
Did you hit him?
No. So they have 5 pitches. It's either 5 pitches or 3 strikes. Mm-hmm. Well, ball. Just not throwing it anywhere close to where he can swing. It's the last pitch. I go, you need to swing it no matter where it's at. I know I'm pitching bad. Yeah. You have to swing it.
That's the worst.
No steady strikeouts.
I threw it. He swung, misses it, walks to the dugout, starts crying. I go, look, listen. This is on Coach Gray, okay? Yeah.
This is not you.
It's not your fault. I was not pitching good to you. He finally got himself together. The next time he came up to bat, hit it straight to the outfield.
Dude, that's awesome.
He got game ball for that.
Right.
When I was in coach pitch with Tristan, there was one kid on this team for 2 years in a row. Every time he came to bat, I hit him with the ball.
I've gotten better with that. I only hit 2 kids, and that was during practice. I have not hit anyone during the game. No, fingers crossed.
You gotta get used to it anyway.
And so he was so scared to get in the batter's box. And so finally, the last game, I'm like, and I don't remember the kids. I remember his face. I don't remember his name. I'm like, dude, he walks up and he's like, he's visibly scared. He knows he's going to get hit.
Shit.
I said, look, I haven't hit anybody all night long. I hit him. It was the last game, though. It was the last game. I said, I haven't hit anybody yet. I said, I'm not going to hit you. Yeah. He's like, you sure? I said, I'm not going to hit you. First pitch.
You nailed it. What's the matter with you?
And I felt so, and he looked at me like,
he's like, you son of a
He's
bitch.
like, you betrayed me. But every time he got it to bat, I hit him with the ball. And I felt so bad for that kid.
After a certain amount of pitches, this shoulder that I messed up in high school. Well, every time I raise my arm up after a certain amount of pitches, I'll hear pop, 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 and then throw it. And then pop, 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 pop.
Mm-hmm. So then throw it. Go get that shoulder surgery. It'll be fine.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
That it gets too loose, and then it's just. That's why I start throwing crazy. It just gets way too loose.
Well, as you get older, you'll start getting tennis elbow, so tendonitis, and now your elbow's going to start hurting. It's going to it
I feel like I'm already starting to get arthritis in my thumb, like right here on both hands.
Yeah, it's because you're shoving them up your butt too much.
Yeah. I know.
Just wait. Just wait. The only thing I haven't had surgery on this arm was the elbow. Everything else there's been surgery on, or I've broken at least something.
I've only had one surgery, and it was on my finger.
But you've never broken a bone?
Nope.
Right? Addie hadn't broken a bone. Have you ever heard the broken bone theory?
No.
Since we're talking about broken bones. So the broken bone theory says that if you've never had a broken bone, that you have been blessed by God and that you are protected. And some people try to take that to an extreme because they had never broken a bone and end up breaking bones.
They're like, I'm unbreakable.
I'm
Like
unbreakable.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I'm unbreakable. So they end up breaking something.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
And those that have broken
It's called
bones
just lucky.
are just they're not blessed by
It's-
God. Apparently.
It's lucky or unlucky is what it is, or being a wild maniac.
I have broken all but my pinky finger on my left hand and my pointer finger on my right hand. Everything else has been broken. I've broken toes, elbow,
Broken toes.
wrist. That's it.
Penis.
Twice.
I broke this knuckle.
It looks like a lightning strike right now.
Broke this knuckle. Broke that. And then had the shoulder surgery,
yeah.
so my elbow's the only thing that's good.
That's why you're lefty.
Yeah. That's why I had to switch hit.
Oh shit, that's crazy. But but he's getting a nice taste of what it's like.
Yeah.
But what's funny is I've coached teams where I didn't have a kid playing before Tristan was old enough. I was helping coach.
Yeah.
And then umping and everything changes when your kid's there, and you're just like, dude, it's so much better when you have a kid playing. But I just enjoy. That's why I still ump. I don't have anybody playing.
Yeah.
But I do it because number one, they need them, and number two, I just have a good time out
Remember
there.
we always talked about when we were older and all the kids were going coaching like pee-wee football still or something.
Yeah, we're gonna coach a football team and then coach a baseball team. Me, you, Facto, and bring little Daniel on who wants to come. Yeah.
Well, I have a good spot because it's my future nephew that I'm coaching, but then he's supposed to be starting football sometime soon, and I'm gonna, instead of Dylan being, I'm taking head coach for that one.
Hell yeah.
Dylan can step to the side. I'm taking head coach for that one.
Yeah.
Dude, that's football.
That was the funnest.
It's fun, but also frustrating.
Oh yeah.
But you just have such a good time with those kids, and you get to really know those kids.
Well, it's funny. I'll still see kids. They'll call me coach.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I coached you for like 3 years in Pee Wee.
I call all my coaches coach.
Yeah.
I never call them by their last name, their first name, just coach.
Yeah. It was fun.
To
Like
me-
I said, it took up a lot of your time, but
Every one of my coaches, just because coach always meant something to me. Like there were some coaches that I wasn't a huge fan of.
yeah.
I'd call them, if I didn't like them, I'd call them coach last name.
Yeah.
But if I liked
Just
them
coach.
and they were like, they actually meant something to me, it was coach.
But even like the coaches that I like, Coach Coker, he's not a coach anymore. But every time I see him, I call.
Oh, yeah.
I say, "Hey, coach."
Oh yeah.
I do
Hey,
that with Hobbs all the time.
I call him coach too. But to me, that's a sign of respect. Even
Yeah.
though that's not what they do anymore, whether they chose to not do it or whatever.
No, it definitely is.
But to me, it's a sign of respect because that's what made me respect you. You were my coach or a coach, and I respect that profession.
yeah.
So I call him coach.
Mm-hmm.
And just being the coach for those little kids and watching them grow up, because you know how many kids I watched grow up and,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
even now continue to grow up through those leagues. It's insane because you'll see when you're like, what in the hell happened to this kid? There was a kid that I saw. I hadn't seen him for a couple of years because I never got to up his team's game for some reason. Then I did one of the junior games, and I saw the mom sitting over there, and I go, what are you doing over here? And she said, well, I know the son's name. She's like, he's over here now. I go, no. And I looked, and this kid is like 6
That's what I
foot
said
tall.
when you.
And I looked at him, I go, what the hell happened?
I remember the first line of kids that I coached in Pee Wee were graduating. Like I was like, what the?
It's crazy.
It's crazy how some of the kids, when they were younger, they were the badasses.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them, when they got older, they were just like average players. And some kids that didn't want to be out there at all,
That was
they turned into
that was
good
Kaysen.
players.
You remember
Kaysen Wells?
Kaysen was so soft in Pee Wee. He was the biggest kid out there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I never could get it through his head. Use that to your ability. You're a
you should be able to
monster.
just destroying everybody.
He's a lineman. That's all he could be
Yeah.
because of how big he was. I'm like, you should be destroying these kids. But he was so soft. And look at him. Look when he
Yeah.
got to high school. He was a monster.
Yeah.
It was awesome
Yeah,
to
he
see.
should be destroying
and now
everything.
he's 7 foot tall or whatever big he is.
Yeah, he should just be destroying anything he touches.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to see those kids grow up, and like even now, I see this kid every day, but all the other ones.
Yeah.
Even Tyson texted me the other day. Did I tell you that?
Really?
Tyson sent me a message, and he got a little lazy. He got a little.
He's working out now. He's working.
Yeah, so he got a little. And he enjoyed eating quite a bit,
Happened to us all.
Yeah, look at me.
But when he had his shoulder surgery, that's when he got bigger.
Yeah.
Right. And so his message was, he sent a picture of himself at the gym working out, and he was flexing. He goes, I know you saw me at my best. You've seen me at my best, and you've seen me at my worst. I just want you to know I'm trying to get back to my best. And I said, dude, keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep on.
Do it now while you're young and stay with it. 'Cause
Abso-fucking-lutely.
God damn, when you get to be old farts like this, it's...
I was told when I was younger, after I got out of high school, because in high school, the most I weighed was like 175. That was tops.
I beat you in high school then.
I remember when I finally got to 170.
And all I did was work out, which
Yeah,
made
and
no
all I
fucking
did
sense
was
to me.
I was taking
See, I did the same thing, but then I made sure I ate enough.
I was just busting weight gainer and everything, trying to gain weight. And I couldn't.
They had us buy that protein. I still have mine unopened. That protein is called POS, and it came in the biggest fucking jug ever.
I remember we had it sitting by the water fountain in the varsity locker room. You just take a scoop and
Dry scoop it,
and just
dude.
go.
And I religiously drank that.
Yeah, and it didn't do shit.
Never gained any
I
mass
weighed-
or muscle. I gained muscle, but I never gained weight.
I remember I was like in the 160s, and I had a 28-inch waist, and like the jeans, they were like 28 inch, and I was like, don't have any problem gaining weight now.
No. But when I was in fact, it was Carlos that told me. He goes, don't get over 200 pounds. He goes, because if you ever get over 200, you'll never get under it. Oops.
Whoopsie daisy.
I did get close. I got back down to 205 one time.
Well, I
didn't really want it. I really wanted to be like 200 to 205.
Yeah.
But just,
Yeah.
and I was bulked up.
Like I said, I don't give
when
a
we
shit.
were working out, I was like 205.
I don't really give a shit how much I weigh. It's more of how much I feel and look.
Dude,
I don't care if I weigh.
I'm back to the.
Yeah, me too.
I'm back to the holding my breath to tie shoes,
yeah.
Shit like that.
No, I remember when
We start working out again.
I know.
I started working at S-Tech where I worked the first time, and I got up to about 200 pounds. And I was like, shit, that didn't take long. Well, then I started rolling beer. I went back down to like 175. Within 2 months, I was 175. It just came right off of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I still could lose weight pretty fast. And then went back to this job. And this one doesn't really put you through physicals.
When me and your mom met, I was 175, 185, somewhere around there. And she was like, you gave me a complex. And I'm like, but why? She was like, because I think she was like, our weights were too close to each other.
Yeah.
And she wasn't a big girl, but she was like, they were too close to each other.
That's how Lexus was at first.
Mm-hmm.
But now, and when senior year of high school, biggest I got was 190. I sat at 190. Basketball track came around, dropped down to 170. But then I've been sitting at 190 ever since I got out of high school.
Yeah.
I've been sitting
But
around
that's
190.
good. But that's good though.
I sat at 205 forever. And then
Not anymore.
now I stay around like 215 to 220 range.
I told myself,
I'm short.
I told myself, if I ever hit 200 and I'm not working out, that's when I start working out again.
I was working out so religiously, like 6 days a week, and eating. I was tracking everything I ate, and I was making sure I hit a protein, a fat, and a carb goal. And then I was drinking at least a gallon of water a day, dude. And I was taking all these supplements, and I was enjoying every bit of it because I was having a great time. And then I just stopped because I got tired.
Yes.
Of it being such a routine. And I did it for like 2.5, 3 years or whatever, however long it was. And I went from like 255 down to 205. And I did it for like 2.5, 3 years or whatever, however long it was. And I went from like 255 down to 205. And I did it for like 2.5, 3 years or whatever, however long it was. And I went from like 255 down to 205. And I did it for like 2.5, 3 years or whatever, however long it was. but I didn't get skinny. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I bulked up, and I enjoyed the way I looked, but it was just so much work.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you skip a day.
Yeah.
You're like,
tired, I'm tired.
And then you get back on. You know, you're like,
Tired.
I'm back on. Okay, I messed up one day. I'm back on it. And then you're like, well, I can skip Friday. You know, I can drink beers and skip
I'd rather-
Friday.
If I skip any day, I'm not going back for the rest of the week.
That's the problem. right?
I've known that since out of high school. If I ever skipped a day, I wasn't going anymore until I made myself go.
Right. And then that's the other issue, making yourself go. Because there's only so much you can do by yourself. You can't do free weights by yourself to bulk up. You
Gotta
have
have
to have
someone there.
you have to have somebody there to spot you, you know. And so, but when I was going to the gym, there were three or four guys that were there, and we would, you know,
Yeah, they usually like
we would help each other. You know, hey, give me a spot. Yeah, I got you. Hey, give me a spot. Yeah, I got you. You know, they were doing a lot heavier weights than I was
Well, we
doing
would-
because those guys were, but they would help me, you know, and push me, you know. So it's cool.
For about a year at Factos, we were going.
Mm-hmm.
Then we all started.
Well, then you got hurt.
Our bodies started. Factos heart exploded.
heart exploded.
My shoulder exploded. Remember, you had like
I was having a neck thing
and a-
going on,
and you had
the
wrist thing
and a
going
wrist
on.
thing going on.
My
I was the
shoulder
only one that was
exploded.
fine.
Yeah.
Factos,
But then I didn't want to
Factos-
go, hey, Facto, can
Yeah.
I come over to use your gym while
Yeah.
y'all aren't using it?
Yeah.
He wouldn't care, but yeah. Then I guess Facto had the worst injury. I mean, I had to get surgery too, but
Yeah, but not on your heart.
I guess his was a little worse than mine.
I guess.
Yeah,
We'll see.
he's looking for sympathy or something.
Hey, at least he's coming to buy my raspberry sparkling ice 12 packs at Walmart
There you go.
Ooh-wee.
Is
every
there?
Sunday.
So, we always talk about what's the one thing we miss from high school, or do we miss school? Do you miss?
I missed some things, but yeah, I had a blast in high school. So I mean, it was.
I
it
also
was
had a
fun.
blast in high school.
Some people didn't.
Did you miss sports?
Yes, I missed playing football.
I
100%.
I missed hanging out and just having
Yeah.
zero
Yeah.
shits to give.
You didn't have any really responsibility that you thought you had. You weren't paying bills and stuff. I mean, you might have had a car
Yeah.
payment or something, but
But when you were in
I think
school,
about that on
Yeah.
a daily basis.
you're so close to it. I still.
when you're in school, you couldn't wait to get the fuck out.
You're
of school.
thinking, and that's why I kept telling like anybody always told us. That same thing I tell the girls.
You want to get out now,
Respect
but
this while you can, because when you hit the real world
it's a shit
and
show.
everything,
I told Tristan that forever.
Tristan's
Stop
finding
trying
It's a
to
shit
grow up.
show.
yeah,
Like, and I'm having those same conversations with Addie. Stop trying. You. And I heard this, and I was like, dude, that makes.
I've tried
perfect
telling her
sense.
too.
I'm like, you are only a kid for
Mm-hmm.
18 years, 17 years, 18 years. You are a kid. You have no cares
Yeah.
in the world. Just be happy, hang out with your friends. I said, you have 70 years to be an adult. You know, whatever, however long you live.
Yeah.
I said, you have, you know, for a third of your life, a quarter of your life, you get to be a kid with no worries. You need to live like there's no worries. You know,
Mhm.
within
Yeah.
reason. Within reason.
yeah,
Because because then
What
you,
that means stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have 60, 70
Yeah.
years to be an adult and
Yeah.
and just hate life because it
Yes.
fucking sucks.
Yes, unless
You know.
unless you're rich.
Like, and I tell him, I said, I've told him, and being an adult fucking sucks.
I mean, there's, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's,
Yeah.
look,
it's just you're working all the time.
yeah,
you know,
it's because you have to work, you have to
Yeah.
make money, you have to pay for
Yes.
shit. When you're a kid, you don't have any of that.
No.
You know, your parents are taking care of all that for you.
like I said,
Pay
you're
for
maybe working at.
expensive shit.
Like I said,
Yeah.
you're working at. In high school, you're working at Brahms or Pizza Hut or something just to have
money.
Have
have
extra
money and.
Which we told
I
him,
mean-
as long as you're playing sports, you don't. I don't want you to have a job because that is your job, school and sports.
I which was like a job.
Well, I started
Yeah.
with Audrey. I started, like I said, when you're in school, fine. I said summer though is when I started making her
No.
work.
Well,
during
he
the
was
summer.
he was doing sports during the summer though.
But
Yeah, I
she
had
wasn't. So I was like, you
summer
need to.
camp,
Yeah.
summer whatever.
And I said, I don't care if you, I don't care what job you get. If you're making shit money, you're not doing it for the money. I wanted her working to
Yeah, to get that. Yeah,
get that, you know.
yeah, responsibility and,
And it
understand
I
what it
think
takes
worked.
to earn money.
Like I said, Audrey was the one that can't wait to grow up. Taylor, she fully embraces of, I'm the baby, I'm the kid, I'll be a fucking kid. I'll play video games and stuff. I don't care.
Hey, I still
She
play
don't-
video games.
But
So
I mean,
do
no,
I.
she's like full on. She don't want to. Audrey was like
She doesn't want to grow up because maybe if she
Toys
did,
R Us kid. they don't exist anymore, sir. I don't think.
oh,
Is there any left?
I doubt it.
I thought they went like full bankrupt.
So now that you're an adult with bills and shit, how is it?
It's bullshit.
Hey, you can do whatever you want. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want.
That was the big thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I'm out of school because I can do whatever the fuck
whatever I
I want.
want. I can.
Hey, I tried that at 19. It was too fucking sucked.
I can do whatever I
19.
want. That's why when I turned 18, I moved in with my dad because he was basically like having a roommate that would buy beer,
Yeah.
I'd have to buy his too, but do whatever I want. But damn, they were fucking broke.
Had to pay my own rent at 19.
We were broke as shit.
Yeah. I try to tell him, you have a place to live for free.
Mm-hmm.
You have food here to eat for free. You can come and go as you want. We don't care, And he had to move out. He just had to move out.
Well, we were the
It's
same
a
way.
shitty ass place too.
I did at 18 too.
We were the same. I moved in with my dad in a shitty freaking duplex. And I remember when we thought when we moved into an actual house.
Well, he moved into a duplex.
Yeah.
Ours was way shitty.
No, yours was a quadplex.
It was assisted living.
Yeah.
There was 4 in there, right?
It wasn't assisted living. It was something where the rent was cheaper.
Section 8 housing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yours was way better than when I lived with my dad. The first
Which
one.
it was only $900 a month for a 2-bed, 2-bath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The ones we lived in, the heaters
So.
were like those old school.
With the clay.
Yeah. Those were the heaters.
Yeah, heating things
were-
in there.
Those were the heaters spreader and then window units.
The only problem was bugs got in all the time.
Uh-huh.
You got fire alarms that constantly go off during the night, during any time that I gotta change.
But
It's such bullshit.
the TV I had in my room was the TV that I won my senior year in high school.
Oh yeah.
And the TV stand was an older TV that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like the older brown ones that had the wood on it.
Yep.
That was my TV stand. for my other TV.
That's what it turned into when it stopped
Mhm.
working.
Yeah. And I had a college fridge
Yeah.
in there.
Mm-hmm. Right there behind you.
Yeah.
That's Tristan's college fridge.
And
Yeah. The
And I
one I
remember
had
when
in my
I-
prison cell.
Yeah.
I remember when I was working at Brahms and going to school at Weatherford.
Yeah.
So I'd go to school till 11, 8 to 11, something like that. Come back, and I'd go straight to work to Brahms and work to Brahms till like 6 and come home. And that's what I was doing every day. And all the rest
Just
of my
minimum wage.
and all the rest of my friends were not doing shit. And I'd be sitting there trying to do like homework,
Mm-hmm.
and they're throwing empty beer cans at me, telling me to hurry up. Hurry up. What are you doing? Hurry up. Quit doing that. Hurry up.
Yeah.
That's what I did like for a year. It's a wonder I didn't finish college. But
no, it's fucking.
I remember when I made enough money to buy like a new window unit to like stick in my bedroom.
Oh yeah.
I think it was on a fridge, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about going back to college to coach.
I mean, it's not too late.
You got plenty of time. I mean, you do it.
Here's the.
I can't do school though.
Here's
Nah,
the.
you can do it.
But
I
also,
can't.
if
I
I did-
tried for
You could do it.
not even a semester, maybe 4 weeks. I tried. There was 3 weeks strong, doing all assignments, making sure it was on time, doing
Shit.
it right. The 4th week, didn't do anything. Told my teachers, I'm done.
Just start taking
Don't send me anything else. I'm done.
start taking like online classes.
And there was some teachers I forgot about. I did online. I was all online for those 3 weeks.
Well, get this shit done, boy.
And then the 4th week, there was teachers I sent stuff like, I was like, hey, nothing, I'm done. Other teachers I forgot about that were sending me, hey, do this, you don't want to get a 0. Hey, do this, you don't want to get a 0. I said, fuck it.
Because I'll think about that sometimes. I'll be like, man, maybe I should have stuck it out and been like a high school football coach or something. It'd been like funner.
that is still
You
my
know,
dream job.
It's still, even if, I don't care that you really don't make that.
But-
The only guys that make the money are the.
Yeah,
But I mean, it would have been. I would have loved my job at least.
that's the thing. I think but I don't. But the problem is, you can't just be a coach. You got to also be a teacher.
It's all right. I'll teach. Do the typical. I'll teach history.
I could
History's
teach
great.
math.
Yeah, they were either math or history
I
teachers.
would do math, science, or history.
I'll do a.
There's some that do English, and you're like,
No.
Hell no.
why would you do
I'll
that?
do a history class and I'll do a health class. So, I'll teach a health
Coach
class.
Harvey.
Yeah. I mean, Crawford did math, and
Yeah.
he was a legit
yeah.
math teacher. Like, some of those coaches would be like,
Yeah.
But history, I'd teach history. That'd be fun. I like history.
I do too.
But it's too late now.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's me. Like forever, I was like, I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna be a coach. But then I'm like, I won't make near as much as I'm making now.
Yeah.
And that's the downfall.
That's why I tell the girls there's a fine line. You want to have of course, everybody wants to have money, so you want to have a job that makes good money. But
also, I mean,
it's just as important to have a job that you're going to be doing this job for the rest of your life. So it's important to have a job that you enjoy going to. That makes a big difference. A lot of people go to jobs that they make decent money, but they hate their job.
But I'm in the beer business. It's not a
bad. I mean, it's a pretty good gig.
I mean, I've
every
been
once
in it
in a while it's annoying.
Yeah,
yeah. For the most, I mean, if you like mine, I enjoy what I do. Sometimes it gets.
It takes you around the world.
Yeah. So I mean, I lucked out with guys that didn't get a college education from Mineral Wells.
Mm-hmm.
We lucked
doing
out
well
with
for ourselves. This guy too.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the other thing. He could go back to school and be a coach and teach whatever, but he wouldn't make what he's making now.
It's
more, I mean,
I'd make less than
to
what
some
I'm
people.
making
It's
now.
like, what's more
And that
important?
sucks.
What to some people? What's more important, the money or your dream job? I guess
the money.
But I think.
Well, see, but if you got that, if in your head, that's good.
But here's the problem with that. Teachers are teaching the future leaders of the world, and they don't get paid shit. No. And I don't know. Look, I honestly don't know what teachers. Some districts make good money.
That's why there's unions.
Some teachers make good money. Or districts. I mean, some districts don't. But and then a lot of teachers still go back to try to get their masters, so they can go.
A lot of teachers will
become
and doctorates.
Some sort of principal,
they'll
some sort of superintendent,
college professors, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so you have to have a doctorate to be a professor.
Right.
I mean, that's what I got. I got a guy at work. His
so it's not like
his wife was she taught senior English or whatever.
Yeah.
But she kept going to school on the side. So she still teaches like senior English, but she also teaches some college classes on the side. She does some summer college stuff. Like she's making like bank because but she also can retire like.
But that's
early.
the other thing, yeah.
If she wants
teacher's
to.
retirement or pension, whatever it is.
I mean, the longer you work, the more. But I mean, she can retire like at 55 if she wants to or something.
I'm ready to retire.
Like I said, I should have been like my granddad, a bit a mailman, and then he became.
You're a mailman.
Then he became the postmaster and government job. He retired at like 55 or something, and had like 10, 15 years of awesome retirement. That he got to enjoy. I'll probably work till I die.
I will not.
I don't want to, but
you have a retirement, right?
Yeah, sure.
You may never see it, but you have retirement.
I said, I'll be like a week away from retirement. That's when I'll drop dead. That's just what happens.
Tristan, though, he's smart. I say he's smart. He got into a company.
What does that mean?
he got into a company that has a 401.
Yeah.
So he started his 401k.
Yeah, for sure.
Very
Just
young,
get it going.
which I didn't. Like I mean, I was.
I did. I
don't know how old I was.
Yes, I've been working for Keg One for almost 2 years now.
Yeah. So so 2 years at 21, 2 years.
Yeah.
So since he was 19. Yeah.
And I had my home route like a couple months after I started.
So think about how long, if he stays here, that 401k, and you're being very aggressive with it, right?
10%.
I need to look. Well, I need to look at
How
your
much?
401k, and I need to adjust.
10% of my paycheck.
They do like the thing like at my work. They match a certain percentage.
Yeah,
so
they'll match him up to 5%.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so I'm putting 10%, but then I also have like other benefits that I have for being full time.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is we need to look at your 401k and kind of match yours up with mine. I'm very aggressive with mine because I just, when the stock market's high, I'm making money.
Yeah.
When it crashes, I lose a lot.
Well, in 2008, I remember.
Yeah, but I've got a lot of shit to pay for right now.
Right.
I remember,
Like my truck, my wedding, my...
Well, what I'm saying is we can look at your 401k and kind of get yours in line with mine because I do have a great return on mine. Even when the market was terrible, I still had a pretty decent return.
Well, wasn't it like 2008 when the crash happened?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Everybody lost like half.
Oh, I did.
I was 4, so didn't affect me.
Everybody lost like in one day, like your 401k balance was half of it was gone.
Luckily,
gone.
I didn't have a lot in there, but it still sucks.
I remember I had like 40 grand in there. And like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't have-
overnight, it was like,
Nothing.
I was like, what the? It sucks.
That's why there's like I don't really look at it all. I could look
Well,
at
that's
it all
why
the time.
they say spread it out. Like, okay, you got your primary
Diversify.
401k,
Yeah.
but have like a Roth
Yeah,
something going
Roth
over here,
IRA.
and have like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So
Well, we both have 2.
so if one gets hit, you still got your other 2, and
We have 2.
So you have the 401k, and then which is after tax,
then you got the
and then we have a Roth, which
That's-
is before tax.
Oh.
So your Roth you'll pay taxes on when you take it out.
Fuck taxes.
Yeah, ours says that. Ours says that. Yeah, ours says he's just getting introduced to the tax game.
Hey, he had to pay in this year.
Who the?
These past couple of years, I've been getting lucky with me
School.
going to college. I've been getting some return back.
To this, I've heard.
Which
of
I didn't have to pay much.
well, I
But
heard
fuck paying
I heard a
taxes.
lot of people that have never had to pay in had to this year.
So not this year. This year because Tasha fixed her WF4,
Yeah.
which she didn't. I've been telling her for 3 years, your W4 is not right. You don't have by right. I mean, because you want them like for us, we want them to take the most out
For how much you? Well, it depends on that.
because of where we land in tax
Yeah.
in the tax bracket.
And
Where we land, we
you
need
still-
we need them to take the most out.
like I said, when you got kids, it makes a big difference. When you got those kids that you can still
Yeah.
claim and everything,
They've got one.
One.
yeah, that makes a big difference though, because that's like
It does.
$2,000
Yeah.
a kid.
I'm about to start having to claim a head
yeah.
household.
Yeah, just
What the fuck?
well, I mean, you just like I don't put Max in right now because still got Taylor.
Yeah, you have one.
But I told Chance we got it that last year when we got to both
Yeah.
jump up to
so
put
so
max in.
we claim single no dependents,
Yeah.
so that they take the max out. And realistically, I don't care that I get a refund. I just don't want to pay.
Yeah. Well, it's either like pay more during the year, like a lot of people would be like pay more during the year and get more on your return at the end, or
Right.
pay less during the year and get less at the end. But if you ain't got the kids, like I said, that's what I told Chess. We need to pay attention to when we know it's going
You
to be.
only have like 2 more years, right?
Yeah, and then it's like that's when we got to both make sure we jump
Yeah.
up because I don't want to pay you.
Yeah.
I actually paid less this year than the very first year I filed taxes. The very first year I filed taxes, I'd pay $80-something bucks.
Yeah, he only paid $50 this year.
$51.
Never-
On top of the $60 fee.
I've never had to pay in yet.
So this is the first year in about the last 5 that we haven't had to pay in because she finally fixed her W4. Last year we had to pay in like $4,000. The year before that,
Good God!
yeah.
Even with the kid and everything.
the year before that
What
was
the
like
hell?
$2,500.
What was up with?
The year before that was like 3,000.
Oh.
And so this year now she finally got it fixed, and we got like $1,000 back
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, like I said,
that's kind of close to where you want to be, but
still, like I said,
tell
You
him
got
to
me.
tell him to give you beer.
yeah, I'm right here, dummy.
Well, I'm about to go pee anyway.
Oh.
So.
What? All right,
Yeah, be into this.
you're gonna spew
Spew into
into
this.
this.
I always like
It's funny, like he's getting the taste of it
Oh,
now.
dude,
the
it-
taxes.
dude,
and,
it is it's I know where he's
I
at,
remember
and it
last
fucking
year.
sucks.
Last year was the first year that.
But it makes me laugh because I've told him forever,
Yeah, they don't know.
don't be an adult until you have to be an adult. And he just had to be
Well,
an adult.
We're the same way.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like I
But
said,
shit
like I
didn't
said,
cost near
Taylor's-
as much back
Taylor's fully embraced the. Okay,
then. Yeah.
I'll be a kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Kiss my ass. You have to drag me on this bitch. That's how
I'm
she
gonna
is.
live here forever.
Yeah, I don't
Which and I would be fine if Tristan.
I'm not.
But obviously, our house isn't going to be big enough for everybody to live there. They're going to be married. They want their own
Like I
place.
said,
and I
whatever
get all that.
whatever the girls want to do, but I'm not gonna say it if one of them was still around like at 22 or something. So
Yeah.
you got to get the fuck out.
No, I'll never tell my kids they have to get out. They have to get out.
Unless they.
Yeah, you told me how to get out. That's why
Yeah.
I got an apartment.
no fucking way.
Yeah, right.
I told him don't fucking get out.
He
I'll
sits
take
down and then he wants.
one too.
Oh, will you?
Yeah, no, I told him don't fucking move out. You don't understand the bills. Like, I understand you want to move out. You don't understand the bills you're about to have to pay.
Which I didn't have to pay for electricity, water, or gas. I just had to pay for my Wi-Fi and my rent. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because over there they paid for the water, they paid for
utilities are all in.
they paid for everything.
Yeah, wait till you get a taste of you having to pay for fucking everything.
And your property taxes and all that shit.
Hopefully not too long.
Here's
escrow. I told you what I got this year.
Oh, we had a escrow shortage. Did I tell you that?
Not as much as mine.
No, ours was $1,500.
Four?
That's was that just the estimate, or was that the absolute? You are four short. See, ours was just an estimate.
It's because they underestimated so much last year because the insurance is all shot through the roof. Like they said, mine was all tied. Like I've never had that happen.
I got a question for you.
Ever.
When the fuck is the price of electricity going to go down?
Never.
Why would
Because
they?
we use too many. We use too much.
Remember, they always try to say that
electricity.
Texas ain't got enough. We gotta.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, the price of energy is supposed to be coming down now.
Okay.
It's not.
The price
it's
of
not going
gas
to.
is supposed to be coming
It's
down.
like
now.
anything they say they be like.
That actually
Gas
'cause I used
will.
to-
Gas will fluctuate.
But it's not.
It'll
Gonna,
go up and down.
I used to
It's
pay
like they always do. You know, like they always do. Something will get jacked through the roof, and then they'll look and see, well, how many people are still just paying this anyway? Like,
that's a problem, right?
why would we drop it if people just...
The price of eggs has come down.
Yeah. People keep buying vehicles.
So
They are through the roof. You know, the cost of a vehicle now is insane, but people keep buying them. Like, there's no, like...
Yep.
So why would they drop them if people keep buying this shit?
When I
people
first
keep...
got-
I mean, people keep driving these trucks that are pieces of shit that break down all the time.
Hey, you didn't tell me about you getting your truck back. I keep seeing it, but I keep forgetting to ask you.
So have you been excited to have it back? Has she...
Yes, I'm excited to have it
Nothing's
back.
happened yet?
So I didn't get to give an update last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So let me give you an update of what happened with my truck.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, last time I gave you an update, it was in the shop in Eastland.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I go to pick it up. They call me. Hey, it's ready. Perfect. So I got a buddy of mine. I had to drop the company car off at the warehouse in Weatherford. And he drives me from Weatherford to Eastland. Dylan. Thank God for Dylan.
Is Dylan coming on the podcast sometime?
He doesn't
He's
like
been
to.
on here one time.
Dylan likes to... If he was here...
He'd sit over
he'd
there
be
and drink.
sitting over there and just watching and kind of laughing.
Yeah.
He wouldn't...
Yeah. Once we get some of this shit out, I'll
He'd
have
probably
people
sit,
come hang
he'd
out
sit on the
with us.
lawnmower.
You need to tell him to start playing games with me.
I will.
I'll play games with him.
I will. And he would love it.
Yeah,
I
he's a
keep
big-
playing Call
he's-
of Duty, Repo.
Like I said, Dylan's a big gamer. Man.
Marvel,
Yeah.
That's what...
Schedule 1. That's a fun game.
That's
If you
what
don't know
Taylor...
Schedule 1.
That's what Taylor got
Get on it.
into was the Marvel. She got into that pretty...
Hey,
hardcore.
I'm Doctor Strange right here.
hey, I'm in the middle of it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, your truck. Yeah.
So I go pick it up, and I go walk in, and the guy that's helping me out, that works there, he's like, "Dude, got your truck ready?" I said, "Cool." He's like, "Okay, but like, so insurance paid for or whatever? What's that called? Not insurance. It's a
Warranty.
yeah, extended warranty paid for everything, but there's a
I would have been like,
well,
fuck
he's
you,
like,
man.
but there's a $75 charge. No, it was $25 charge for something. And I was like, whatever. Yeah, here you go, $25, whatever. He said, but that battery's still bad, so you need to take that when you leave here. I bought it at that Napa.
I'll take it back.
Yeah,
to get
take it
like
back
that.
to them and
Yeah.
get a new one. Cool. I said, no problem. So he drives me out to this back lot where they have all the cars that are ready to go home. I said, cool. So he drives me back there, drops me off, gives me my key. I go, perfect. And I'm sitting there and I'm pushing. He's like, because literally it was a fucking sea of white trucks.
Oh,
It was
were they all the
just-
same brand?
Well, it was a GM.
Huh?
Hey, colorblind, so he's just. Oh, there's another white one right there.
So we're
No,
driving
no,
around.
yeah.
We're driving up and down the roads. He's like, "Do you see it?" And I'm like, "Fuck, they're all the white fucking trucks." Anyway, so I'm hitting my alarm button.
Yeah.
We're not hearing it, and I'm like, so finally we go down this one row, and I'm like hitting the lock and unlock button, and I'm like, "Oh, there I am, right there. I see the lights."
See the lights flashing.
Yeah. Never heard the alarm though,
Huh.
but I kept pushing it over and over. So maybe
Sure.
Turn
whatever.
off.
I'm
Turn
sure
off.
it wasn't working.
So I get out and I'm like, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for all your help, dude. And even today,
He said they were really good.
yeah, he even checked up on me today. And so I get out and he's like, all right, man, see you later. I said, appreciate it. I'm gonna bring you some beer, and I haven't forgot about him. I'm gonna take him some beer and I just haven't had a chance to get out there, but I will. And so hop in my truck, hit the start button, nothing. Like it didn't try to turn on. Like it came on.
Just
didn't I send y'all everything?
yes.
Like all the videos.
Yes.
And dude, so like the instrument panel came on and just code, just different things.
And why
were
did they
popping
think
up.
it was fixed?
I have no fucking idea.
If it was like that bad.
I don't know.
They got the quick fix, not the
Well, so
main problem.
they fixed the issue, but now I'm like, oh, it's the
You
battery.
might want to check if it's fucking starts.
So I'm like, oh, it had to have started because they moved it from the
They
shop
probably
back there.
fucking pushed it back.
towed it
They
back there.
pushed it back there.
So he's walking up, and I see him talking to Dylan at his truck, and here I come walking from that back 40 acre, and I'm
Here comes
just
the little-
it's so hot. And
Here
I'm
comes those little
sweating.
choppy steps coming.
I'm just strutting my. And he walks up and he's like, man, are you good to go? And I said,
No.
I wish I was. My truck will not start. And he goes, are you fucking kidding me? I said, no, sir. And I gave him my keys, and he drove back there. And he come back and he goes, all right. He grabbed a booster pack to jumpstart the engine. He goes, I'm gonna see if it'll jumpstart. So he goes back there, he jumpstarts it.
So it's just the battery.
So he drives it up there. I didn't know he jumpstarted, but he drives it up there.
Oh, he didn't tell you it jump started it?
No, I mean he was back on the 40 acres, and I'm up front, you know. So he drives it up there. He goes, it's just the bad battery. He goes, go. I would go right now.
Straight there to it.
Perfect. I said, okay. So I go there, and now I have just the finest people that work there. Just top cream of the crop. They clearly did not. They have never touched meth in their life.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't messed with anything. They're just straight-laced people.
Uh-huh. Probably really happy to be there.
Very happy to be there.
Very lovely attitude.
Yeah, it wasn't hot outside, so they weren't complaining about that the whole time. I said, hey, I bought my battery here.
This sucks.
I just got out of the shop. They tell me my battery's bad. Can you check it for me? And then if it's bad, I'd like to get a replacement.
Yeah, please.
So they check it. Oh yeah, it's bad. Okay,
All right, well, give me another.
let's get a replacement.
And then,
So he's like, well, because it has this big thing that covers it, he couldn't really see the type of battery it was. So now he has to take that stuff off. And so he just completely takes the battery out and walks it inside. Now, he was very careful with everything he
that's
did.
what I was thinking.
So careful. And so he gets it off, takes it inside. He's like, yeah, the battery's bad. So I said, okay. And so he's like, yeah, warranted. We're good to go. And now him and the other guy that were there, they're looking it up, both on different computers, looking it up. And that, like, I see a puzzled look on their face, like a very well, this
They
is
don't
like,
have the battery.
well, no, this is. And so the other guy goes, 9507. And he's like, yeah, that's what I see too. And they look at the battery that they just took out of my
I had
truck.
the wrong fucking battery in it.
And they look at each other, and they're like, well, this is a 4307, 4302, whatever the battery numbers are. And I go, what are you telling me? They're like, well, it doesn't look like it's the right battery. And I go, huh. And I said, well, that's weird because that gentleman right there sold it to me. He goes, that guy? I said, yeah, the one with the long beard right there, bald head like me. He goes, oh, well, if he sold it to you, it's the right one.
Oh, fuck.
And I went,
Are you sure?
I'm like, well, now I don't know, because if your computer is telling you this isn't the right battery, is it the right battery? Well, now they're like, well, we'll get you a new one. So they start looking. We don't have any. We don't have any other batteries. They said, we'll have you one here tomorrow.
No.
I said,
I need one today.
I said, well, I got two questions for you. Number one, how the fuck am I supposed to get here? Because my truck is currently without a battery, and you have a bad battery right there. I said, number two, I don't live here. I live in Mineral Wells, so how the fuck am I supposed to get home?
Yeah.
And they go, oh, you don't live here?
No, fuck no.
I'm just like, I'm like, I don't live in Eastland. I live in Mineral Wells. I need a fucking battery. And so I go, well, do you have a way to jump me off? Just jump, because I had no
and
trouble.
Then they started going,
Yeah,
oh, jump.
I didn't say jack off. I said jump off. They go, oh, yeah, we can jump you off. No problem. Even if I have to pull my truck over here, we'll jump you off. Because I didn't have trouble from the dealership to there, which is like a quarter of a
long drive.
quarter of a mile.
Yeah. So you're going to put that bad battery back in there and jump it off. This is like the solution we're going. I'm starting to see why.
That is the only solution that I had to get to Mineral Wells.
Did you have your auto stop and start on?
No, I turned it off.
Okay.
You know, you could have just called somebody to come get you.
I'm not leaving my truck in the Napa Auto Parts parking lot.
That's fair. That's fair.
Nobody's going to steal it.
Well,
Yes, they are.
can't.
Yes, they are.
They literally
can't
Oh,
steal
no
it.
battery inside.
They can't steal
No
it.
battery. They'll get their own battery.
They can't steal
Not
it.
from Napa, though.
Yeah. And so the guy that brought me there, he's already halfway back to Mineral Wells now. So I'm not going to call him to come back to get me. So I go, put it in there. Let's get my truck started.
Yeah.
I'll just get to Mineral Wells. He goes, yeah, we'll get it. And so very carefully
Napa know-how, baby.
yeah, very carefully puts the battery right back in the truck.
Just fucking dumps it.
So, hey, the truck starts right up.
Uh-huh.
I don't even have to have it jumped off. Starts,
Probably the wrong battery, too.
well, so starts right up. I'm like, appreciate it. See y'all later. And I start heading.
You're going as fast as you can.
Start heading home, and then just it's like a Christmas tree. Just
It's all kinds of
everything,
different-
all these different lights on my instrument panel. It was beautiful to see.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Pretty.
all
Real
these different
pretty.
lights, and then it's like slowing you down. Battery's low. We're turning off all the excess shit that you don't need. And so now I shut off the AC. I
All
turn
right.
off the radio.
Roll down the windows.
Disconnect Bluetooth. Roll down the windows. And I'm driving. So I just roll down just a little bit. And I call Tasha. I'm like, okay, well, just be ready, because if I don't make it to Mineral Wells, I'm just trying to get to, because
This bitch about to blow up.
I'm like, the Napa and Mineral Wells will cover this warranty. I just need to get to
Just
Napa
gotta
and
get
Mineral
there.
Wells. Just got it.
so close.
Hey, you
Dude.
made it to Mineral Wells, that's for sure.
Yeah, and so I'm watching that battery gauge go from like where it should be down to nothing,
Just dying.
and then come back up to where it should be, and it's just like it keeps fluctuating. Perfect, not perfect. Perfect, not perfect. And it's like all this shit is all this shit. So I get to Mineral Wells. I'm like,
Alright.
the only thing I was worried about was 7 Mile Hill. Like, is it going to get me up the hill? You know. So I get it to the top of 7 Mile Hill. I'm like, good. I'm good to go. Here we go. And
Start to roll down.
it's got me throttled. I can't go faster than 55.
I can't drive
55.
You know that song, Tristan?
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't think you did.
I get all the way to town, and as I pull up to the stoplight, that's
Right at
there's two people at the stoplight, and then here I come, and I'm like, in my mind, like, because it's acting weird, like my truck, like minus all the lights and shit
It's
going
got
on.
some alerts going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Now
oh shit.
my truck's starting to act fucking weird, and right in front of the police station, that stoplight, I'm like, I'm just gonna cut through this parking lot and keep going, right?
Cut through the gym parking lot?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I start turning to the gym, and it just fucking dies, and
Oh,
it's
just
fucking
done.
done. Right in front of the fucking police station. It is done.
And that's when you...
I turn on my hazards, and I call Tasha, because she works right there. Call Tasha. I'm like, dead at the light. Can't do anything. My truck won't
were
do a
so
fucking
close.
thing. So fucking
But I
close.
mean, I don't think it would have mattered.
So she's like, what do I need to do? I said, I don't know. Just I'm calling tow trucks right now. I call every tow truck company in Mineral Wells. No one is available.
Of course.
So now, by the time I get off the phone with the first one, there's a knock at my window, and it's fire department, police officers. They're like, hey, do we need to push you out of the way? I said, it's all electronic. You can't put it in neutral.
Yeah.
Tow trucks have tried. They can't do it. So they pulled, cars up. Now they're directing traffic to get around me.
That's a parade around this train.
Yeah, and so while I'm outside, one of the gentlemen that worked for the fire department, one of the cops, he was like, hey, you were at the Bags, Badges, and Bingo. He was one of the dancers.
You were DJ.
Or one of the models, not dancers, models.
Well,
And so I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, we had a good time. But I'm on the phone. And then one of the officers is like, what are we doing? Have you got somebody coming or not? I go, and the gentleman that works for the fire department, he goes, He's literally called everyone in Mineral Wells, and no one's available. And so this other guy goes, I'll call someone. They'll get here now because they have to when something like that happens because I'm blocking the roadway.
Yeah.
And so the last one I called, that's who they called to come pick me up. And I knew who it was. And so he was like, man, you should have told me you were stranded right in the middle of... I said, I did say that.
Yeah, you ain't got it.
Yeah, I'm like, I did say that.
Took the fucking 5-0 to
So he loads me up, takes me to Napa. I was like, just take me to Napa, which is, 6 blocks down the way or 7 blocks down the way.
You were close.
And so I get there. They give me
Which battery did they give you?
the right battery.
So that was the wrong one that was in there.
Correct. He did come back out and say they are interchangeable, but it is not the correct battery.
Why?
I don't know what that means.
There has to be a difference.
I don't know. Obviously, there's a difference.
It
How could
sounds
they
like
be-
the Napa and Eastland
Well,
is not the
How
one
can
to
they?
go to.
How can they be interchangeable?
I don't know what that means.
But they're not.
He goes, it's not the correct one, but they are interchangeable. I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
But okay. Because it's something about the code cranking apps aren't the same. But
But
you
they're
could,
interchangeable means they should be.
but
like,
you could use it. It's one of those, you could use it. It's just not the right
you
one.
could use it. And this happens.
Right. It's just not the right
It
one.
might not work correctly, but you can use it.
So then I get the new battery in.
I could
And-
use a Magnum condom, but it's not gonna work right.
So the tow truck driver is still, because I knew who he was. He's hanging out with me, and he's like, "Get the battery hooked up." I'm like,
Please God.
and when I connect the terminals on there, and you hear the engine making the clicking noises and shit. I'm like,
power's
here
coming
we-
back. Yeah,
fuck.
let's get
Yeah, it's
back.
like, I'm alive. You know.
Yeah.
When I get in, I push the button, start button. Nothing.
Nothing.
Like the instrument panel and the radio and all that stuff comes
Yeah,
back
but
on,
now it's not.
but
Start.
just fucking nothing.
Oh God.
And I'm taking it apart, and I'm double checking all the connections because there's like 47 connections to take the battery off.
Yeah.
Double check, and I'm like, it's fucking nothing. So I tell the Napa guy, I smell that.
What?
Did you fart?
No.
Oh, did you fart? Oh, somebody did,
Oh, it smells gas.
It was a June bug right there.
probably. So I go tell Napa, I'm like, hey, tow truck guy had to leave. He had somebody else he had to pick up and take to their house. And then he's like, if you need me, call me.
Yeah.
I'll come back and I'll take you to the Chevy house here in town.
Oh God.
And
You're like, I don't want to go there.
yeah, and so he's gone. And I told the Napa guy, I'm like, my truck won't work.
I don't know.
I'm having it towed to the Chevy
By this
house.
time you've given up.
I'm just like, Tasha's like, what? I'm like, I don't. She's like, get rid of it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I know. It's just,
I'm right on it.
let me
Hold
just
on.
light a match.
Yeah. So I now have my truck back. And they showed me the problem. And they called
Which
me and
is
told me.
insane.
They called me and told me what the problem was. There's a ground cable that connects the what did I say it was?
Leg bone connects to the
Yeah,
hip
it
bone
basically connects the engine to the chassis.
chest. Yeah.
Right, engine to the chassis. And that ground cable was arcing onto the bolts
That's insane.
that hold it in place so much that it
Burnt
basically
through one
burnt through
completely.
one of the bolts completely, and the other one had, I mean, it's not a big bolt, but almost completely through that one.
But
and they gave me the bolts. They're like, this is your issue. It was
how did they finally find the fucker?
I have no fucking idea.
And
Because they probably didn't even think to
doesn't
look
this,
for that.
Doesn't this sound like? It sounds like, to me, an insane
Time to get
problem.
a
Like
2025
Time
GMC
to-
Denali Ultimate.
time to get like a fucking almost like a lawsuit. Go. That sounds fucking
I don't-
not safe.
It is fucking crazy. I don't know, but here's what I do know: my truck is working. I've driven it
For now.
since Monday.
So do they think that arcing was the root of all evil?
That's what really
I
caused.
mean, obviously,
But how was it getting the arc, though?
I couldn't tell you.
it wasn't grounded properly or something.
Obviously, because
Since he first got it?
Yeah, I mean,
well,
it probably.
I don't know that.
It
That
probably-
seems terrible.
Well, it probably was.
My assumption is
It came loose somehow enough.
my assumption is all the work that's been done to it,
Just loosened it up.
something
Well, no, I
happened
mean,
with.
you
But I
start-
have no way to prove
But you
that.
start having issues, and it's all seemed like electronic, right?
All right, time to start documenting everything.
It's time to.
Well, everything is documented because everything's been done through dealerships. So everything is documented, but there's no.
But they don't check for certain stuff like that. So you
Yeah,
gotta
but-
tell them, hey, check for this, document it real quick, and then.
Yeah, but how would I know to connect the ground cable that connects
that's fucking
the
ridiculous.
whatever throttle body or whatever to the chassis,
That's just crazy.
the
Hey.
engine to the chassis,
I'm just thankful my truck hasn't fucked up like yours has.
and it won't. Hopefully,
It's a Ram.
yeah,
That's
it's a
why.
Ram.
It's a Ram.
Anyway, I got my truck back, so yay!
Hold your breath.
I'm not. I will not.
Uh-huh.
I'll drown before. There we are, though.
Yes, you made it.
There's a beautiful update.
Yeah, that's quite the story.
The reason we talked about your truck was gas prices.
Gas
Because
prices aren't coming down.
when I
They're
first
not
got
too
into my
bad
wreck,
right now, though.
when I first got into my wreck and I had to start paying for his gas and his truck when I
Oh,
was driving
yeah.
his truck was fucking ridiculous.
Was that my white? That's my white one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And no problems.
I mean, the gas.
Well, I was driving it,
Yeah.
but maybe it's the driver. I
the
don't
gas
know.
still isn't too bad. Wait till freaking summertime.
No, I used to have to pay $70 in my truck out there. Now I had to pay for almost a full tank today, $52.
I mean, gas is.
Yeah, but I'm on diesel.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
part of your problem.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I mean, gas isn't too bad. We'll see what it does in the summertime. Summertime.
What was it
know,
when you first started driving?
Oh fuck! In like high school.
When you first started driving? When I first started driving,
It
79
was-
cents a gallon.
Yeah, like I said, it was under $1.
79 cents a gallon when I first
For
started
me to
driving.
pay for a whole tank when I first got my car in high school was $20.
But yeah, he had
No,
a
it
Ford
was like
Fusion.
gas was so cheap that you really literally could, because we would do this, get a handful of change.
And throw it at the
coins
person at the
that you
register,
could
just throw
find.
it at him. This
And-
is how much
and
I
it
want.
would, it would literally be like $3 and change of all the change you had at your ashtray and everything. Here's $3 and $3 of gas would get you some gas.
pretty good ways, yeah. 79 cents a gallon when I first
Yeah.
started driving.
$3 will barely get you a gallon now.
Oh.
Or almost two or
Look,
three, maybe 2 gallons.
No, it'll give you a gallon and then
Well,
and a little
diesel.
bit.
How much is diesel right now?
Depends on where you
something.
go. It's around $2.99 to
Okay, so
$3.19. I paid $3.19
Some
this
places are
morning.
still under $3.
Some places.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not great.
No, but it's not bad.
Gas is barely under $3.
I know.
Depending on where I go, Allsup's is the cheapest one I've gone to.
Mhm.
I said it's like $2.90.
I had to go to
something.
Murphy's at Walmart today. $52, not bad.
Mhm.
I remember when I-
53.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got the first Dodge I had. It was 2009-ish, somewhere around there. It was a Dodge like yours, but older, of course, but 4-door and everything like that. They got, I think they had a 27-gallon gas tank, like a huge
Mine's
gas
like
tank.
22, 24.
It's huge.
Mine's 22.
And I remember one of the summers the gas like
Shot
shot
up.
through the like $5 a gallon, like it was almost $5 a gallon or something. It cost. I remember it cost like. It was like almost $90 to fill it up.
At what age did you? Oh God!
Yeah, it
At
was
what age
insane.
did you really start being conscious about what you're paying for gas? Because honestly, until probably 10 years ago, maybe not that long, but it wasn't. It was very recently that I was just like, gas is something you have to have. I can't change the fucking price, so I'm just paying it. Which I'm still that way now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck, it's fucking. And I'll look for, oh, that's 3 cents cheaper over there. I'm gonna go over there
Mine was
within reason, because if it's a shithole store, I'm not
Well, I
going
think
there.
that
when we
whole-
moved into our apartment. That's when I
Yeah,
really was
you have
really
to.
watching. Okay, so it's cheaper over here, more expensive. I'm gonna go over here.
Well, I think that whole year of like that time around the 2008-9 era when the stock market crashed and all that shit, everything went through the roof, and I think that was that summer when gas was like $5 a gallon or something. It was like insane on there in the summer.
No, fuck.
And I was driving that fucking big ass Dodge that got great gas mileage.
No, of course it did. Of course it did.
That was before any kind of eco booster to that bullshit. You
Well,
just
I
put a-
used to have really
that had
good
the
gas
heavy in
mileage on
there.
that truck, but then I started working in Mineral
Uh-huh.
Wells, and then it's
Yeah, when you're
just
not
really
doing the-
dropped.
yeah.
Dropped a lot.
yeah, when you're doing the in town driving it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Your gas mileage. Let me ask you a question. We got guys here. I think.
Sort of close enough.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you some shower habits or shower things that supposedly only guys do.
Okay.
I've got a little bit of ADHD, so I do stuff a little bit differently. So
Well, no, just okay. Have you ever, or do you on a regular basis, cup your hand, fill it up with water, and then just let it drop?
I used to. Hey, to make it better, you go against your body like this with two hands, and you get a bigger puddle, and then let go, and it's a bigger splash.
Okay, so then the other one is then you like he's saying, you cross your
For
arms.
sure.
You cross your arms and you create that pool of water.
I did
and then
that.
you let that drop.
Until you go like this, it's a bigger puddle because you're not crossing, and you have just like a little. You gotta go like this, have a big puddle, let that go, bigger splash.
So you do it.
I guess I do the cross the arm thing, but probably not like on a consistent basis.
I can see
But
Blake
have-
just going.
But it's something we do.
But I
Yeah, because he's just mad in the shower
No, I just stand with my back to it. Like,
because he hates showering.
yeah, no,
But
just
it's something
the-
you've done.
Yeah, for sure.
So apparently that's something that girls don't do.
I wouldn't.
I'll ask. The
I know
girls.
that.
So I want you to go
Yeah,
ask
I'll
your
ask them.
ladies.
I'll ask.
And
I
see
know.
if
I have
that's
to
something
ask.
they
I
do.
know she don't. She don't do that. I know she
I'll
don't
ask
do
her.
that.
I'll ask. But I have done it. Yes.
I've also done it, and that's just
Yeah, we play
It's
with
just
water.
something we do.
We
Yeah,
just
we
play with water. Like damn
we like
kids.
to, and the bigger the
Like I said, like Tristan said, you could take when you were younger.
Oh,
Did it
yeah.
all the time.
yeah, no, I did it all the time when I was
Did
younger.
did the bat wing and caught water like that?
Of course. My bat wing's a lot bigger
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hangs lower.
That's the goat wing. Okay.
Have you heard of the Willy Wonka theory? The original Willy Wonka. I
Uh-huh.
assume it's the same.
I never watched the one with Johnny Depp.
It's okay.
Yeah, a
I
little
did.
different.
It's okay. I like the old one better.
Yeah.
Charlie.
I like Johnny Depp better.
No, then
No,
Gene
you're
Wilder.
fucking
No,
high.
fucking way.
I've watched it. I
You're
like
high.
Johnny Depp better.
You're-
But he didn't grow up with Gene Wilder.
And plus, it's just the.
He needs to watch
I
Gene
mean, I haven't
Wilder and
seen it
Richard Pryor
anyway, but
movies.
yes, the
You need
yeah.
Silver Streak, See No Evil, Hear No Evil is
There
the
was
one.
one-
That's
I
the
think I've
best
watched
one.
that movie.
And I guarantee you haven't.
and there was one more. The one when they go to prison
Oh,
is the fucking.
is that not Silver Streak?
I don't know if it is or not. The one when they go to prison is the to me like.
No,
the-
it's See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Is
I
the
don't
best
know.
one.
Mine's because when they get to prison and Richard Pryor starts,
Strut.
he starts walking like, and Gene Wilder's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Gotta be bad. Gotta be bad in here. You gotta start walking bad." He's like, "If you ain't bad, you get fucked."
You fuck.
So Gene Wilder starts.
Look
They,
like he's
and they put him in
having
the
a
cell with
seizure.
that big fucking giant guy that just has Richard Pryor pinned against the between his stomach and the wall, and the guy's just huge standing there, and Richard Pryor's like crying like he can't breathe.
I may be wrong, but I thought I
great.
saw something about Adam Sandler doing a Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh no, yeah,
Two,
for
yeah.
sure, it's coming out.
No,
on
it's coming
Netflix
out.
this year.
I am excited to watch
Yes.
it, but it won't be as good as the first
No,
one.
I mean, it-
I know it won't,
definitely
but it's going to
not.
be funny.
But it's got
Hold on, let me.
it's got Adam, it's got Gene.
It's got Gavin.
Shooter?
Shooter McGavin.
You think Chubb's gonna be in it?
Yeah, he will be. So the Willy Wonka
Mm-hmm.
and the Chocolate Factory theory
I think I've heard this one, but tell it, Tristan.
is that so when the fifth ticket was found, Charlie was at home with the grandparents laying in bed. And they're watching it on TV and they see in Russia that the ticket was found. Charlie goes to sleep. They're like, oh, and Grandpa says, just let him dream, let him, whatever. And they all go to sleep. So the fan theory is that the rest of the movie is just his dream. So
His dream if he found the ticket.
so miraculously, he's walking down the street and finds money. Miraculously, with the money, he goes into a store and the second chocolate bar, because the first one he eats real fast. So he
Mhm.
buys another one and he opens that one and that's where the ticket is. And all this happened the day before you're supposed to go see the chocolate factory. So it's miraculously the day before they find out that the Russian one, the one that was found in Russia, was a fake. He finds money. He goes
yeah,
and
but he finds like 10, 15 bucks on the ground.
yeah, he goes into the store. He buys one, eats it real fast, buys another one because he's going to take that one home to share with his grandparents. But he opens it up there. There's a ticket. And then all of a sudden, you never hear of anything as they go through the chocolate factory, as the kids are gone one by one because they do bad things, that he is the only one left, and you never hear anything else about the other kids.
He did do a bad thing.
He did.
But it's okay.
But he still won. And now he wins the chocolate factory, but it's all a dream.
So that's not the theory.
Yeah, but then at the end of the Johnny Depp one, they have the little fucking snow shaker at the end where like they moved the old house just in the factory.
Oh, into the factory,
It's just like
yeah.
a little snow thing just going on.
Yeah, that wasn't in the original.
Yeah.
So the theory I heard...
The whole time you were explaining it, I was watching the Willy Wonka Johnny Depp movie in my head while you were explaining it.
So the theory I heard, the Willy Wonka one, is, have you seen Snowpiercer?
No.
The movie?
No.
Then it ain't gonna compute with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like
We
the
haven't
same-
seen the B movies you watch.
No, Snowpiercer was not a B movie. They even made a freaking series out of it now.
I doubt it.
Snowpiercer had Chris Evans and stuff in it. It's supposed to be like, if you, like, there's so much stuff that makes it look like it's the same world as, God damn,
What is he fucking mad at the
as
world?
as the Willy Wonka, like, because the whole concept of Snowpiercer is, post-apocalyptic. The whole freaking world is like covered in ice,
Okay.
and the only people that are still alive are on a train, the Snowpiercer, that's constantly moving, and it's a huge long train, and you got different societies living on this train, the
Okay.
poor people and everything, but it's linked to, like, people have pointed out there's a lot of similarities on this train of pointing towards like Willy Wonka and all that stuff, and the president of the Snowpiercer train, like the guy ruling it, is supposed to be like Charlie,
Okay.
because he learned everything from Willy Wonka. But you have to see Snowpiercer too. Like, no, watch Snow. It's actually a good movie. They, like I said, they made a damn.
Sounds great.
No, they made a series of it on TBS. or something.
Snowpiercer 2, Electric Boogaloo.
No, they just made like they turned it into a series, but the movie's actually pretty good. Captain America's in it. Chris Evans.
Sounds great.
Harry,
It's a good movie.
Doctor Who.
In Willy
You
Wonka,
ever watch Doctor Who?
Yeah. Which one? There's been so many of them.
Any
In
of
Willy
them. They try to
Wonka,
remake it.
they've done it a bunch of times.
They've
sir.
tried to remake it, and not
What-
it.
in the original or the new, what is the one part of the factory you would love to have gone to?
Licking the wall.
Of course. Glory hole himself.
Glory hole itself.
The
Licking the wall.
The snozberries taste like snow. When they first get into the big, when everything's
Where you
made of
can
candy,
eat
you
the
got
grass.
the chocolate river. And
Oh, eating the grass? Yeah.
no,
eating
when
the-
everything's made of like the
Gene Wilder, yeah, the
honey thing,
teacup.
and he bites it. The chocolate river, like that's the spot. You can eat everything in there.
But I can lick the wall and taste.
You're just licking the wall.
Blueberries.
I'm actually eating candy all over the place. There's
Yeah,
giant
but I can
gummy
lick the
bears
wall.
growing.
Oh, I want a grape. Oh, there's a grape
Well, guess
little
what?
sticker on the wall.
Well, here's an
Lick
actual
grape.
grape bush that tastes like. Here's giant gummy bears
Yeah,
hanging
but that's
from a
all
tree.
chocolate. I'm not a big
No,
fan
there's
of
giant
chocolate.
gummy bears hanging from a tree. There's,
Yeah.
But I don't like gummy bears
They
either.
had the thing that where the
You're a
Augustus
weirdo.
Gloop was taking his hand and eating all the cream out of.
Yeah,
Uh,
they had like every candy you could
Augustus
think of in there.
Augustus.
No, that seemed like the spot out of all of them.
So you didn't want to try the
I'd like to try the burp and stuff with
where
a
they
fly.
made you small, not the fizzy pop, but where they made you small because they were trying to make send Willy Wonka
Yeah.
bars to the
I think
house
why
off
would-
the TV.
Why would I want to be?
You
Oh,
wouldn't wanna
where they?
make time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to try that?
No, because any person that ever gets made tiny in any movie, bad shit happens. It doesn't go well. Since Honey, I Shrunk the Kids,
I was
it never
thinking
works
the same
out.
movie.
Why do I want to be this tall where anybody can just
I would want to try it.
You want to be turned into a blueberry?
Okay, but
Like-
I'm thinking of when they put him in the TV with the monkeys on the Johnny Depp.
How
one,
about
Oh,
the,
yeah.
Where they put him with the monkeys.
Well, how about
on
the-
TV.
You want to do the boat ride?
That would be cool. It was scary. It was kind of
Trippy
freaky.
as shit, boy. When you watch the original,
What about the gum where you have a full meal?
that'd be interesting.
Where you're like, oh,
Oh, yeah,
my
you
God,
have
I
a- you
taste
have
the
a-
turkey and I taste the
I want
gravy.
the goose to lay the golden egg.
Yeah, that
I gotta pee.
that never. But
No.
I,
Like I
I'm,
said,
I'm,
the burp and fizz thing was cool. So you start flying into a fan.
I think it's the big room where you eat everything, or it's the gum, because the everlasting gobstoppers.
We had those.
Yeah, we had those, but they weren't everlasting. But it's the gum where you can eat a full meal just by chewing the gum. That sounded cool.
But then she turned into a blueberry herself.
That was Violet. You're turning Violet.
It was still in the production phase of it, you know, just experimental. That was her fault.
He goes, "This is where it always goes bad."
Well, it gets to the dessert. That's when you turn into the dessert.
That's fine, as long as it's a banana pudding. I'm in on banana pudding.
You know, I skipped my birthday dinner. Didn't have no birthday dinner.
Why?
Because I wasn't there.
Why?
I was either not going or playing basketball.
Mm-hmm. That's what you get.
If you don't know, out of high school, I still play basketball, football. That's about it. And softball.
Are you pissed off at this place too?
You know what it is? We're used to
Factos.
when you gotta,
Yeah.
slam it.
Tristan's going through the fact that he still plays all the sports.
Yeah, even after high school, I still play softball, football, and
All right,
basketball.
well, come see us in 20 years.
Well,
where you're at.
you know,
He's
'cause
gonna be doing better than us.
Soon enough, I'm going to be cutting down to football and basketball.
not just 5 or 6 years ago,
Oh God,
I was still playing football.
Semi-pro, I'm playing
Have I ever
flag,
told you
though.
about
good movie.
Have I ever told you about playing football?
Yes.
I play flag football. Got to use your hips all the
He
time.
plays that fag football.
I just started my own team with
I know you were
Couple
trying
players.
to recruit. You were trying to look for. Hey, by the way, Tristan needs players if anybody wants to play some ball.
Yeah, I've got iffy players. Had to pay their membership. They better pay me the fuck back, or I'm gonna be pissed.
Good luck.
Good luck.
So-
Good luck.
I had to pay my team fee last Tuesday, plus one of the players, because either don't have a job or don't whatever, what the fuck ever. But I had to
Sounds a
pay
little
his.
bitter.
I had to pay his membership fee because there's 2 game on centers. There's one in White Settlement, like close to us, White Settlement, and a little bit closer, just like one exit closer. One exit closer.
Too close. Shit.
I was getting cold too.
I wouldn't get cold, but it's just
So one is for volleyball and basketball. One is for straight football or soccer.
straight football.
Football, yes, just straight, no gay.
I'm gonna
but
pee while you're doing this.
All right.
but so I had to pay his team fee because you have to pay a team fee for football because it's a whole different
Yeah.
place, but you have to pay a team for basketball. So I had to pay his team fee. We play. It's Devon.
I figured that. So, you're QB1.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
Yes,
QB1.
Who else is gonna play
Yeah.
QB? You know,
Patrick Mahomes out there.
more of a Lamar Jackson. You know,
A little more
I run. I'm more of a runner. You know,
50-50 or 60-40.
I don't know. I'm starting to turn to a 50-50
Do a lot of
because
the
I'll throw the ball a lot more than I'll run
Do
it.
a lot of the
'cause-
flag football guys do about 50-50 when it comes to that running and throwing?
no,
or-
they're a lot better at just throwing it than
So
running it.
but they're not probably as good as running as you are.
Oh no.
You got to use that as an advantage.
Yeah. I use my speed to my advantage, but if I get close,
That was a very fast pee-pee.
I got to use my hips. Got to.
It's all
That's where-
in the hips.
Hip flexibility, you have to have.
Got to
it.
dodge them flags, right?
Yeah, you got to move your flag,
Uh-huh.
but they have to be at your hips. If they go anywhere else, like front and back, you get a flag for it, get pushed back.
Violation.
Like, I already got a flag. I got 2.
Actually, I played in a football tournament, we have a tournament team, but then we have like a draft tournament league. So I played in the draft tournament league, bought me some new flags. Homer Simpson with donuts, and it says donuts on the side. $20. bottom. Pink
Your
little
mom said that
strap.
you have her some of her flags, by the way.
Yeah, Rob has them.
Okay.
It's the Texas
So
flag ones.
how's your team
Anyway.
doing anyway?
Okay, so this was our first game of the season. 42-45. We're on the losing side.
Still,
Ooh.
you were there.
But we have 3 new people. Hold on, 3.
Math.
Possibly
math.
8 new people, you know.
So how many people to a team?
However many you want.
So you can have as many people on the sideline as you want. So how many people are on the field in flag football?
6.
Okay.
We at the game on, it's 6 on 6. But we have a total of, I think, 11 or 12 people, which our team fee is $600. So you split that between those people.
So you want more people?
You want more people.
So how many people do you have? 8?
That showed up last week?
How many people are you supposed to have?
At least 6,
At
apparently.
least 6.
Well, I mean, how many people do you have on your team?
11 or 12.
Okay, and 8 showed up.
8 showed up that game.
So he's
4
paying for the other one.
4 that I text, they either had, or 2 of them had work, 2 of them couldn't make it.
Well, here's your time to. Hey, anybody want to play some flag football? Still want to
That can pay. That can
pay. Tristan said he'll cover you if you can't.
No, I will not. I already covered one person I was going to cover.
But I mean, hey, really, anybody want to play? Tristan, these players.
$60 for a team fee.
If
$40 for the membership.
If you're not very good,
it's in White Settlement.
If you're not very good, he doesn't care as long as you pay.
As long as you pay and as long as you're there
his
every
nickname
Tuesday.
is I need money.
Hey, we play on Tuesdays.
I know somebody that can be center.
He asked
Over
me, and I
here?
said, no, thank you.
Let's see.
So does the center just hike it, or does
No,
he
they have
hike
to,
it and go?
They can go out for a pass as well.
So
Our
he just
next-
hikes it, and does he have to get in center position, or does he just
he
kind
can
of
do
throw it
whatever.
back?
Yeah.
Our next game is on Earth Day,
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday the 22nd of April.
Obviously, Earth Day.
It's at 10:30 p.m. That's the
That's-
time our
that's-
game is.
Shit. So,
So
that's,
So if you can make it, let me know.
and it's in White Settlement.
It's in White Settlement.
Jesus
yes.
Christ.
That's
Hey,
the kick in
That's
the
why
dick.
people ain't showing
Our
up.
next 2 games are at 10:30, and then we have a 9:45. Then we have an 8:15.
Man.
Yeah, no, that's the kick in the dick. Like, he
Yeah.
came home Tuesday.
At 12, but that's
not
the
too bad.
only reason why I
Midnight.
came home past
youngster.
midnight that night.
He's a youngster. Midnight ain't shit.
Not for me.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm an old man at heart, so I gotta go to bed early.
you need your
Dude, he
you
was
need your
so-
8 you need your 8 hours.
He was
Yeah.
so tired last night. We came down for dinner. He's just like, he looked like he was just.
Man, I usually go to sleep between 11 and 12 every night.
Oh, I do too. But
Yeah.
then
Get up
getting
at 5.
home at that time and then
Yeah.
having to lay down,
you're
shower.
right. Like getting there at midnight's different than
Going
being
it's-
home since like 7, and
Yeah.
then you gotta have.
and having to wake
'Cause I
up
gotta have-
at like 6 in the morning to go to work.
Because usually I
Fuck
gotta
no.
have unwind time, right?
Yeah, you have to.
I don't like just to show up at the home and go straight to bed.
If we weren't doing this tonight after umping, which I'm still gonna do, I'd get home, I would shower, and then I would lay in bed, and then I'd be on my phone till about midnight.
Yeah.
And then that's when I'm like,
Well,
okay.
that's when I was sitting there waiting on you. I'm sitting there recliner next to Chas in the living room, and I was like, it's about 8:45, and I was like,
She was still in the recliner?
yeah, she was.
No way.
She's been staying
Uh-huh.
up because of what we're talking
Yeah.
about. But I was sitting there, I was like, man, if we weren't doing this, I bet me and Chas would be in bed on our phones about 9:30.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
come
but
on.
Tristan,
Stop
that
holding
was
out.
colder. This would be.
That was perfect for me. And then put those in the fridge.
Shut up.
What's in the freezer? There's something in the back of that freezer.
I don't think so.
I think so. Oh, it's my beer mug.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like there's still beer in it.
No,
No,
it's
it's
just
that's the ice on the side that looks like it.
when it
it's
was
full.
empty, I tried to throw it at my mom, and she got scared that I was going to spill beer.
It's pretty cool.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
So today we have to go somewhere again.
I don't want to go, but
We will.
We have to. So it's time for Daniel and Blake's Death Corner, sponsored by Arco Roofing.
Boop, 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 boop. Ba-doop, 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 boop, 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 ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doo.
So,
There's two.
there's two.
There's two.
You told me about one. I didn't know about it.
Did you look him up?
I did.
Okay.
We already knew who he was, but I had to look at his...
we have to say today's Death Corner, there's two.
yes, there's one that's
There's
going to
two.
be...
One's going to be hard for Blake.
Mhm.
The other one is just for us old heads.
Yes, so
Somebody we know. His
Winston
name,
Someone
Conrad.
I don't know.
Winston Conrad,
which is, I did not know that was his name.
but you might know him as Wink Martindale. He was, like I said, only old people. Tristan has no idea who that is. He was famous first as disc jockey, radio. I think he even did stuff with like Elvis and stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
And then in the 70s and 80s, he was a game show host.
Most people know him as a game show host, I believe.
Gambit
For what
was a...
game shows?
So he hosted Gambit from 72, 76, Tic Tac Doe
Tic Tac Doe.
from 80 to 81, so the year I was born.
This is what he looked like when he was younger.
No idea who that guy is.
Yeah, I know.
And then he did High Rollers
Mm-hmm.
from 87 to 88 and Debt from 96 to 98, so he was in the 90s a little bit. And I remember seeing him on some other stuff, when we were...
He was the host of Mars Patrol, a sci-fi children's TV show.
yeah, he died April 15th. He was 91. But I remember seeing him on... I can remember seeing him on something else when we were like... It had to be like in the 90s.
He got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2007. He had the most outrageous game show moments. He was featured.
Maybe that's
he was
what
one
I
of the
remember.
hosts of that.
Like I said, he was
in 2002.
he was friends with Elvis.
He did that show with Bob Eubanks. You remember Ben Stein?
Yes.
Win Ben Stein's
Yes.
Money? Yeah, so they were all together on that show.
But I mean, he was friends with Elvis. He
Didn't we go to Elvis's house?
Mm-hmm.
he
I
did
remember that.
Graceland, yep.
Yep.
he did a nationwide tribute to Elvis on the radio when he passed away because he was friends with them. Because like I said, he was first famous as a disc jockey, and he
Yep.
did stuff. That's how he got to know. So he was pretty good friends with Elvis. But I am picturing him on something that I just could not.
Well, let's look. Wink Martindale game shows. Let's look at that. Which game shows did he host?
Like I said, it would have had to be somewhere in like the.
He hosted Gambit, Tic Tac Doe, High Rollers, and Debt.
See, I don't remember.
None of these shows
any of
exist
them.
today. Wink was the only host of Gambit. Yeah, I would have thought he was like. What's the one? What's the one where they were? You'd have a panel of celebrities, and you'd have two people trying.
Well, he probably was on those shows as like because they had random celebrities like on the
What show was that where you'd have two people and they had
Hollywood Squares.
No. There was like
I know what you're talking about. When they
4
had
and
the panel
4,
and they had to get like
and they had to
the
match
questions.
answers.
Yeah, match game. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, maybe.
But I mean, remember the Hollywood Squares? They'd have celebrities sitting.
Wink Martindale in this picture I'm looking at almost looks like Price is Right, Bob Barker.
Yeah, I mean they were both like in their 90s. So
Well, this is a young quote unquote younger
it's probably
picture
in
of
his
him, but
80s
he
there.
looked like Bob Barker there.
what's weird is when you see a really really old picture of Bob Barker when he had brown hair. Look up that. That is a trip because we always knew him with white hair from The Price is Right. The dude was kind of like Steve Martin who had white hair. When you see him with brown hair, because he was doing, he was hosting shows, back in the day. I think even when Price is Right started black and white, he had brown hair. It wasn't white. When you see Bob Barker with not white hair, it looks trippy.
Oh God.
Doesn't it look weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still listen to Howard Stern?
I don't have Sirius anymore,
But
I follow him on Instagram and I watch all of his reels.
it's still the same thing. Like
good.
you're so used to seeing
Beetlejuice is.
Yeah, Bubbles.
Beetlejuice had me laughing.
Dude,
You're so we're getting off topic.
Oh,
on.
Beetle.
if you don't watch Beetlejuice on Instagram, if you don't follow him,
Well, we watched
dude,
My favorite moment
we
is
watched
when the guy that's stuttering. He's like, "Come on,
Oh,
get it out,
Stuttering
get it
John.
out."
we watched
come
we
on.
watched
Oh no, John the Stutterer. I'm sorry,
we
John
watched
the
the
Stutterer.
sequel at the theaters.
Yes, we did. Beetlejuice. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah. So
I was
So
there.
R.I.P.
all right, R.I.P.
Wink Martindale.
Wink. So there was a very hard one.
Dude, and this was
So
birthday just happened last Friday.
Friday he turned 11. So the McDonald household has had a rough week. We lost our family cat, Mr. Pouncer. We always called him Pouncy. Nobody called him Pouncer.
Yeah.
He just died. It was kind of strange.
That is fucking crazy. So last time we recorded, it was on a Friday. We were down there in San Antonio. And we were talking about Winston had a birthday. So it was Friday. Winston had a birthday the day before. Toby's birthday was Friday, which was also Pouncy's birthday.
He turned 11. We were talking about, when we got home Sunday, he was there, acting normal. I mean, he was 11 years old, so cats sleep all the time anyway.
Which isn't terribly old for a cat.
No, but he was inside and outside, so he wasn't like strictly an inside cat.
Right.
Sunday night, we've been home, and he comes to the door screaming. Pouncy was very vocal cat. Like, he would let you know, I have arrived, or
Let me in.
let me out,
Yeah.
So he's screaming at my door,
So-
in my room, the side door.
I don't mean to interrupt you. You have two cats, right?
Yes,
You have Pouncy
and Bebe.
and Bebe.
Bebe's turns 2 next month.
So did your cats walk around the house calling for each other?
No, Bebe is very quiet right now. She's not very vocal, and her and Pouncy had a love-hate relationship because she's, like I said, she's not even 2 yet, so she wants to play, and she wanted to jump on his back, and he was an old man that,
Yeah.
Chas would say, he wants to read his paper and,
Our
drink his
cats-
coffee, and they
our-
did.
Our cats are kind of like that. Toots is older.
Agnes is way
younger.
younger, but she's more skittish than Toots is.
Right, but they call for each other.
No,
It-
they didn't.
In the fucking
Yeah.
middle of the fucking
Yeah.
night, I'll wake up because
they grew up-
one or the other is going,
But they grew up fairly together, right?
Yeah.
So I
Like,
don't
they
like
weren't,
cats.
like I said,
yeah.
Pouncy was already 9 when Baby came around.
Yeah, yeah.
He was already, and Pouncy was an old soul. Like, at 3, he acted like an old man. We always
Yeah.
talked about like an old
Yeah.
man. So Sunday night, he is doing his typical screaming, I want outside.
Outside?
Because some nights he'd want outside.
So
So
but
some
don't you
nights-
have the
But I don't leave the cat door open
Oh,
at
I
night because
forgot
of the
about the
raccoons.
raccoons.
So
he has raccoons
yeah.
that comes in.
They'll come in.
in
They
his
come.
house.
They come to eat the cat food. I haven't seen them in a while because we stopped leaving it open.
Yeah, yeah.
But he did his thing. He went outside. So I was like, all right, I'll let you out. It was like 9:30.
So when you let him out, you wait till he calls to come back in.
No, I mean he'll stay out all night.
Okay.
It's not.
He's catting around.
Yeah, they usually hang around the house. I mean,
Cat stuff.
Yeah.
they were both outside.
Just out trying to find chicks,
Yeah.
you know.
They were both outside. Him and Baby were both outside.
Yeah.
Cougar at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, like I said, if it's a night when I let him outside, when I come down, I'm the first one up at 5, and I come downstairs. If he's outside, he's usually sitting at those windows at my carport. I see him. He's like,
Hey,
look,
bitch,
I'm
where you
ready for-"
been?
So I let him in. So that morning he wasn't there. So it's like, it's kind of out of the ordinary. But every now and then he might not, but he will always be there. If I don't let him in, I open the cat door when I get up.
Yeah. So who'll come in?
Yeah. Or Chas will see him when she gets up. Well, Chas always calls me about 8 o'clock when she's on her way to work. And she's like, I didn't see him. And I was like, oh, well, he might be. Pouncy was kind of moody. And I was like, well, he might be still mad at us because we left him on the weekend, But
Did you leave him out?
No, I mean, Cheryl was coming by.
Oh, yeah.
Coming by and
Yeah.
doing the same thing, opening the cat door in the morning, shutting it at night. So I was like, he might be.
He's just
mad
pissed
at
off.
it, yeah.
Y'all haven't been there.
He'll show. Well, we get home Monday, and he's not there. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm not telling Chas this because she's already. I'm thinking, okay,
worried.
All right, I'm thinking, okay, something's up because I didn't see him in the morning, and we didn't see him now. He's never been gone this long.
Yeah.
So we're outside calling for him because you see in the front of her house, it's all woods over there. Nothing. I keep telling her, he'll show up, maybe. I said, well, sometimes we've called him convinced he's outside and he's upstairs under a bed or something.
He's
like
like,
we didn't see him.
What are these idiots doing?
So I'm
I'm
thinking,
in here.
So I'm thinking, well, maybe he's inside and we just don't know it. And he's like, the hell with y'all, I'm sleeping because he's an old man.
Yeah.
But then it got to around 6:30-ish. We ate, and I'm sitting in my room. I'm like, I'm going to go really look for him, but I'm not telling Chas. I'm not really. So I go into those woods, and I'm just looking for him, calling for him. I can't find him. And about the time I come out of the woods, some of Taylor's friends were getting there, and they're like, hey, we want to help look for him.
Oh, God. So you have a search party now.
So Taylor told some of her friends, So they get there, and they're looking, and within 5 minutes, they find him.
At the house?
No, he was. So that circle drive across?
Yep.
He was down the hill like over there.
Yeah.
The place he's usually not at.
Yeah.
But close enough. I mean, he's around. And I'm thinking, oh, shit. So I go there, and this hill is steep. Like you have to slide down an ass first to get down it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it's him, and he's gone. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, did something get him?
Did he get hit?
So I'm looking. The only wounds he has is on his stomach. No defensive wounds on his neck. No, and he looks like he's sleeping, like he's in a position like laying down, like sleeping, and he's not too far away from the house. So I'm thinking, man, if something got him, I would think I'd see defensive wounds. I would think if something killed him, it would took him off and ate his ass or something, if it was something big enough to kill him, because Pouncy's pretty big.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any defense wounds. There's no blood marks. It's just on his stomach, and when I look, birds and stuff, when they find dead animals, the first thing they go for is the stomach. So I think I think he passed away,
and something found him,
and something just started eating on him later.
Right.
I don't think anything killed him.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, baby was outside and she was fine. But God, I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay. No time to be sad for me because I'm like,
and this is what we talked about last podcast.
So Taylor's crying a little bit. I mean, this was their first pet ever was Pouncy.
Yeah.
Taylor was 4, Audrey was 7 when we got him.
Yep.
So she's upset, but she's more upset like,
Mom's gonna be.
What do we do with Mom? Like, how do we tell her? And I'm outside and I'm like, oh God damn, I don't know. This is gonna be like, this is like telling, like, I know it's like telling.
It's a family member died.
Just like, so, oh God, we go in there and then she just loses her shit. Audrey's crying, Taylor's crying, they're all crying. I'm just like, and I'm doing that thing where I'm like,
yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, it's dark now, and I'm like, I gotta get him. I'm not leaving him out there.
Yeah.
So I have to. Audrey's holding the flashlight, but she's like, I can't look at him. So she's kind of at the top of the hill,
pointing down.
Yeah. And I slide my ass down that hill. I wrap him in a sheet and I put him in a box, and then this hill's so steep. I'm like
pushing.
I put him up there a little bit, and I'm bear crawling up the sucker because it is steep. And I get up the hill, and
you're in shape, just so much.
I'm just pouring sweat. So now it's time to dig a hole in the backyard, and our ground is like y'all's, sandy rock.
Yeah.
I started like 2 holes where I finally got one where I wasn't hitting rock at like 1 foot.
Yeah.
I get it about 3 feet. Put them in there. We get them buried. Me and Audrey's helping. Like, we're packing down the dirt each layer every time. I want to get. I don't want nothing digging them up.
Right.
And then I just start finding anything heavy. It's dark. Like, we're going off the flashlights. So I'm getting as many bricks and everything I can to put on top of. I don't want nothing digging them up because God, I could imagine if something dug them up and Chas sees like a dog with Pouncy in her back. I can imagine.
Oh.
And by this time it's about 10 o'clock when I get done, and it's just Chas is in there just sobbing. Audrey's. I go take a shower, and I'm just the lucky thing for me is I was so wore out by the time.
So drunk.
Yeah. I wish I was so wore out that I fell asleep. I fell asleep by like 11. I fell asleep. You know, of course, I knew Chas wasn't going to sleep. None of the girls slept. And it's just been
Just a terrible time at the
just
McDonald
a
household.
terrible time because he's part of your life. Like, every morning I get up, he's not there now. Chas's routine, he'd usually be outside the door. When she gets out of the shower, she'd hear him screaming outside the bathroom door, like, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah.
And then they pet him, and then he lays at the top of the stairs, and he waits there till they all go down. And so it's just been...
I told you how to fix that.
yeah, and like I said, she finally is... But, she, you know, in her mind, half of it's like... I feel like I'm, like, betraying Pouncy or, like...
Shit. Mom
I
didn't have
told-
any second thoughts.
The
that
day,
one right
the
there.
day after.
But to her, she's like, I can replace you real easy, you know, getting another cat. And I said, it's not that. I said, well, there's such a void of not having them in the house. You
Yeah.
need something.
To fill that
It will
void.
at least occupy your time.
Right.
And something happy, like but it's funny, her and Audrey are like, before we got Pouncy, Chaston wasn't a fan of orange cats.
Oh, yeah.
She always liked calicos and stuff. But we happened to get Pouncy because he was a rescue, and he was a hellion when he was like a baby. He tore, like, I remember the first Christmas, we didn't have Christmas ornaments on the tree because he was a
Oh, yeah.
lunatic.
100%.
There's
But,
a thing I saw where animals, like mainly dogs, if they know they're going to pass away or...
Well, they say cats are like...
Cats will go.
They say cats will go.
Yeah,
So that's why I think
they'll go away just so you don't
Yeah.
see them, so
Right.
you don't
And
get,
I've also
get
heard
sad.
that. I've also
Right.
heard that cats like can detect when somebody else is going to die, so they'll leave the house if...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think he just you know,
he knew it was
He
about
was
time.
11. He was an inside-outside cat. Pouncy was a big cat. He weighed about 17 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big cat.
Can I give you one piece of advice to do as a, not a tombstone, but a
Oh
memorial?
no, we've already talked about that. So Chas wants to.
You can buy a rock.
Yeah, she's already looked those up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause-
So if y'all hadn't,
No.
I wanted to buy one for y'all.
well, she hasn't bought anything yet. She's been looking at. it
So
'cause
now you want me to buy it? You son of a bitch!
Well, you said
body
well,
thing, yes.
You
so.
you kind of sound like you want it. Like she wants to get a personalized. Like she saw some where, you know, it's like $25 or something.
Yeah,
You
they're
get,
not-
like,
You
They're
did that
expensive.
for Austin and
Willow.
and she
Willow,
wants
the
to. She wants to
cat.
get one that says Pouncy, not Pouncer, because nobody called it
Yeah,
Pouncy, and like,
the dates.
you know, we don't have the specifics, so like
Yeah.
the years.
Yeah,
And she also wants to say like, she wants to say like, Pouncy's my big boy, because that's always what she said. Pouncy's my big boy. Pouncy's my big. That's what she always said.
so we had, before we had Axel,
Mm-hmm.
before we got Axel, we got Austin. Oh God!
The weird sound.
Remember, I told you that when we got Austin, that whole litter was named after Dallas Cowboys, Miles
Yeah.
Austin. So when he passed away, it was very sudden,
Yeah.
just brain aneurysm,
Yeah.
and so we buried him, and we got a rock, Austin, and with
Mhm.
the dates,
The dates, yeah.
and so we put that on his grave.
Mhm.
I had a cat, Willow. My kids, by the way, wanted to name every pet we ever had Willow, because my cat Willow, we had him before we had them.
Yeah.
And he was there with both Addie and Tristan. And so every animal after that, Willow. Let's name him Willow.
Yeah.
Willow. Every animal's named Willow. And I'm like, my dog, Willow, was
Yeah.
named because they
Yeah.
wanted to name every animal Willow.
Like I said, this is the.
So we got for both Willow
Yeah.
and
Well, Chas always
Austin.
said she wants to get. It says pound. She wants to say Pouncy the date, and then she wants it somewhere to say, just in like quotations, like Pouncy's my big boy, because that's what she always.
Yeah.
We'd laugh because she would talk to him all the time. Like she used to talk to him like in a British accent, if you remember.
Yes.
But she
I
didn't.
do.
She didn't do that anymore. But she'd always just, and she's just heartbroken.
I'm telling
Like,
you,
just
you need to get her.
destroyed.
You need to get her a new cat.
Yeah, and I think, like I said,
We're talking about getting a new dog.
but I got some.
Not until no. Hell
We're
no.
talking about getting a new,
But she wants to
bigger
get-
dog.
Nope.
She wants to get the little marker, and she said, "I want to get one of those little like concrete bird baths, just the one bowl thing, not like a pumper,
Yeah.
and put that like on his where I buried him too."
Yeah.
And maybe I'll, and like I said, well, maybe I can put that and put like a little one of those little concrete benches or a bench there, But I also told her, I said, now putting a bird bath out there is like, inviting the pigs to slaughter because Bebe's a hunter and she would just be. But
oh God!
but
she got dead birds brought to your house.
But that's what she was wanting to do, like a little bird bath thing, a little headstone thing, and I didn't tell her, but I got the idea that like I put a bench out there for because I caught her yesterday. It's like she tries to torture herself because like me, I don't want to. I can put things out, focus on work.
Yeah,
you know, I can distract.
We talked about that.
I can distract myself.
Shove it down.
She wants to watch the videos of him on her phone because she says she misses him so much she wants to hear him.
Yeah.
So we get home about the same time yesterday, and I go to use the bathroom, just take a. It was just a piss too, so I wasn't in there very long. I come out and I'm like, where's she at? And Taylor's sitting there eating at the table. I was like, where's your mother? Look in the backyard. She's standing there
watching a
where
video.
I buried him, just sobbing.
Oh.
And I'm like, what are you doing out here?
Come inside.
I just miss him. And I'm like, oh, just get in the house. You know.
Go get another orange cat.
Oh, we will. Like I said, she's kind of coming. She's 50-50 right now. And she knows she will get another one.
Just do it.
But she don't know.
No, you need to do
that's
it.
why I'm saying I'm going to. And
Just
I already
go
got a lead on. I got a lead on one that's like 4 months old. Because she wants to. She don't want to get like a grown cat.
Right. She wants a baby.
And I got a lead on a pack of litters.
A pack of litters?
A litter of. They're all orange cats.
Yeah.
But they're very young, so it would be. You have to wait.
We had an orange cat. Tristan named it Mikey.
But like when I brought up earlier, I was like, she never cared for orange cats too much. But when her and Pouncy, like, he was probably around 2 when they really like walked.
Mm-hmm.
So now her and Andre are like, every cat we're getting for him from here on out is always going to be an orange male tabby. Always going to be that same cat. Right? There's never going to get another cat.
But you got to get it fixed.
Oh yeah, always, always.
Mikey, when he passed away, that was sad for me. But was he under the bed or was he?
No, I was holding him when he passed away.
Yeah. Like I said, Audrey, me and Chas always thought that's how, especially Chas, she always pictured in her head that when it finally came down, it was going to be us having to put him down, like take him to the vet, him being so old and hurt. And she goes, that's just
a little long in the tooth.
That's just horrible. And so she said, at least that didn't happen. Because she goes, she had to sit. I think Jessica had a cat that she had for a long time.
Yeah.
That had to happen, and Chas was like, she said it was like the worst thing ever. Like,
Tasha said, so because she had Axel put down.
Yeah.
And I like when that was happening, I'm like, do I need to come up there? Do you need me there? I can come up there. I'll come sit with you. I'll be with you.
Because we were playing games at that time.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll come up there, whatever. And she's like, no, I want to do this. I'm like, okay. And then I didn't know like what was like it was they were checking basically his quality of life check, type of thing. And so they said, he barks all night long. It's like dementia is what he had. He's just so old.
Yeah.
And so they were like, I mean, he may pass away today, 2 years from now, a year from now, but what quality of life is he going to have?
Do you want to live in misery for?
Yeah. He had just terrible joints and
losing all of his teeth.
He's lost all of his teeth. Yeah, he's just what quality of life is he going to have?
You got to show him where he's going to. He's supposed to eat.
Like he really couldn't see very well. He was an old man.
I had a dog that went blind.
He was walking around like he couldn't.
I had a dog that went completely. We had a dog that went completely blind, and he was kind of crazy to begin with.
Yeah.
He just stand in like the corner of like a room,
Well, so Tasha she made the decision herself.
Yeah.
I'm like, and when I'm like, do you want me to go with you? No. And when she called me and she's kind of crying, she's like, there, blah, blah, blah. And I go, I'll come up there. She's like, no, I'm fine. I think she had Addie there with her.
Yeah.
And so they had him just, and I didn't know that until they come home, that they had him put down. I'm like, oh, well, you didn't even fucking tell me. I loved Axel, but.
Yeah. Like I said, when I was down there wrapping him in a sheet in the dark in the woods by myself. It's sad. I was sad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still. And I'm thinking, man, us guys got to, do the dirty work of this stuff because nobody else is going to do it. That's just part of it, And it was kind of funny though because when I'm digging that and I'm digging through rock, I'm having to get the cutters out and cut roots that I'm going. It took a while to dig 3 feet down for just a cat, But I wanted to make sure I said I don't want nothing digging him up.
Right.
So Audrey was a trooper. She was out there with me holding the flashlight. But I got to one point where I paused and sweat just pouring off my face, and I'm like,
quote unquote sweat, not tears.
yeah, you couldn't tell. That was good. It was like everything was masked at that point. I was like, Pouncy, you better fucking appreciate this. I
You
said
son of a
that,
bitch.
and Audrey laughed, giggled a little bit, But it was kind of weird because I was like, okay, I kind of got the hole at the deepest point. I need to see if he can fit in there.
Yeah.
Because if he can, he fit like perfect.
Digging a hole is the fucking worst.
Yeah, it's so bad, especially when you're digging.
Just
shit. Like,
digging
for one,
fucking sucks.
The ground up there sucks anyway. Yeah,
Gotta
same
pee
ground,
again.
same ground y'all got, and it hasn't rained in a while
Yeah.
either. But got it done. So y'all out there, if you know Chas or the girls, send them love. They need it. They're struggling, especially Chas. She's struggling hard. She cries every day.
Hate to see the day
Yeah.
I have to bury my dog.
It's horrible.
She is
It's
big as shit
yeah,
too,
yeah.
and it's just
yeah.
gonna be tough.
That's why, I mean, if it would have happened, I would have considered if it would have happened at a different time, like cremation,
Yeah,
because it's easier. Even if you're going to bury them, get them cremated.
spread the ashes here and there. Just
Or you can keep it, or you can still bury them, but you don't have to dig as big a hole,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's easier if you want to take it with you to, dig up or something like that. But it's just, it is like losing a family member. It's weird. It affected me way more than I thought it would. I knew I'd be sad because he's been in our life for 11 years. But I was sadder than I thought.
now, we had Coco a little bit before she was 1, and so it's gonna fucking
Yeah.
suck
Yeah, no,
for
it's-
especially Alexis too,
Like I said,
because
any-
Alexis has grown too
Yeah.
attached to Coco. So
Like I said, we've
It's
lost.
just- it's gonna be
Coco didn't even
terrible.
like him. Coco loves us more.
Like I said,
anyway.
we've lost some.
only because we had to keep her here for a little bit.
Like I said, we've lost some animals in between, but we were never like there was nothing like this. Like
Yeah.
it was the first girl's pets. It was that everybody's so attached to him. Hell, anybody that knows us that was close knows who freaking Pouncy is, right?
The first time I met him
Yeah.
was
So-
today. What was like the day before we left? I think first time
Yeah,
I met
right.
him.
Sure. Yeah. You've passed out in his chair more than once.
Well,
It's a comfy chair.
it is. So
I told you that's the lazy boy that we've had since Andre was a baby. That's when we got it brand new. So that lazy boy is almost 19 years old,
It's so comfy.
and it's still the most comfortable chair in the house. You put it to the test last year
Mm-hmm.
during the crazy waters, or maybe it's 2 years ago.
I don't remember.
Are we going to the bar?
All right, so we're
bar crawl this year?
so yeah, that's
Maybe.
we need to exit.
Okay.
We'll
That's,
do a live.
We can.
We can
So-
do a live podcast on
Oh.
that day. Podcast.
Hold on.
So send love out. So that is we're wrapping up the Daniel and Blake's Death Corner, sponsored by Tristan.
Boop 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 ba-doop, 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 boop 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 boop.
Well, I got it memorized too. Yeah, it's been like I said, Audrey was saying that. I was like, you get home and it's like, there's like this the dark cloud there. You walk through it and it's like, it was today was the best. Like how everybody was acting. Like,
Does Audrey still go to school?
Yeah.
Can I get another beer,
she's
please?
still going to Weatherford.
Weatherford?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, she's still going.
Don't talk to her whatsoever. So
You used to not talk to anybody, Tristan.
no, I don't. I talked to a couple.
Because the girls
people.
even would joke. Audrey, I guess. Taylor, she doesn't talk to anybody either. Because we'd always joke like, Tristan don't talk to nobody, Taylor don't talk to nobody, G doesn't talk to anybody, you know. But everybody started kind of breaking out of their shells when they got older. So when Tristan first started talking to people, like, Tristan's talking to me, Taylor's talking a little bit, G's talking. There's always one that's way more outgoing, and you find something that busts you out of your shell, and now you're talking on a podcast.
The beer industry has got me, because anybody that needs to talk, wants to talk, will talk to me while I'm talking beer.
To the beer man. Yeah,
like I said, you always, if you're any kind of store or especially grocery store or anything, people are going to want it. That's why Chas's uncles that both work, Buddy and Joe Ed, that both worked for Frito-Lay for years.
Buddy is her.
Yeah, that's her uncle.
Dude, I still ump with him.
Yeah. Well, Buddy was Frito-Lay guy, right? At all the Walmarts and everything. And his younger brother, Joe Ed, did like all the stores. Yeah. And their dad was Frito-Lay guy.
Yeah.
So, Buddy was the guy that would talk to,
Dude, I love Buddy.
Talk your ear off, talk your ear off.
But I've known Buddy forever, though.
Yeah, but how'd you meet him?
Well, Frito-Lay.
Yeah. And you have, if you're a vendor stocking at grocery stores,
people talk to you.
People are going to, and a lot of it's other vendors, right? Other people. Because like you said, you met Buddy. He was the Frito-Lay guy. You were the, but yeah, no, that's her. So Cheryl's the oldest. It's Cheryl, Buddy, Teresa.
She was an Olsen.
Yes.
Fuck, I never put that together.
Cheryl's the oldest. Yeah. Then it's Buddy.
Holy shit.
Then they have a sister, Teresa, and then Joe Ed. Joe Ed's the baby.
Yeah, no, I had one guy. He was looking for Coors 24 packs, but then we were out of stock at the warehouse of that. So we had just the 12 packs, but he wanted warm beer because he was going to take it home and put it in the fridge. So I grabbed him what I had left of warm in the back. I grabbed him, brought it back to him. He was telling me, oh, man, I used to work on this ranch a long time ago, but it was in this one place where it was a dry county, so we couldn't have beer. So I would send one of the guys that worked for us to go get beer in this other county, and he'd bring back like 3 or 4 24 packs of Coors Original, and bring it back to us. And then there was one time a sheriff came down and stopped came by the ranch and was talking about the Coors that he had there. He goes, if I was on duty, I would have to arrest you. He goes, but you're not on duty, so it's just fine. You can come have a drink with me. Yeah. So they got to drinking. He was telling me all about that. I was like, and I had someone else working with me, so he didn't want to talk to him. He wanted to talk to me about it. So I'm the guy who people want to talk to at, like I said, in Mineral Wells or anything that want to talk to you about beer or anything.
It was always the most at Walmart's. Yeah. It seemed like that was what people would.
It's because it's for them. It's their cheaper option. They go and they hear.
And plus, you gotta especially if you're stocking like early on the weekends or early any time in the mornings. It's a lot of older dudes. And all they want to do is talk to somebody. So it's like the guy that drove you to.
I'll get
talk to somebody.
What's his name? Jim Facto.
Oh yeah, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
He'll come in and talk to me for a little bit. He goes, "Hey, is Casey here?" The Coke guy for Walmart.
I'm Casey from Coke.
He's like, is Casey here? He goes, I think you just missed. I think he's at Brooks's. And I go, oh, okay, I haven't talked to him in a long time. And then he'll just ride off in his little scooter, and then I'll have his wife come up and talk to me while she'll be shopping, grabbing some stuff, and then she'll come down the beer aisle just to talk to me for a second, and then she'll walk off.
Dude, again, salt of the earth people.
Oh yeah,
I love the Factos so much. Jim, I love Jim so much because he reminds me of my dad.
I love talking to Jim all the time.
Jim reminds me of my dad so much, but they're just old school guys.
Well, that's the nicest lady you ever met.
God,
I don't know how
they're together.
I don't know how Facto turned out like he was with that mama.
So you always talked about Tristan just wouldn't talk to people.
No, he wouldn't. But
when I was in high school, was that way?
No.
That was the exact
You
opposite.
were like you came to pep rallies in dresses and stuff. I mean, come on.
I went to a pep rally in junior high with a chicken
your
pajama
Your
costume.
dad was the same person, this ridiculous,
Idiot.
outgoing
Idiot.
moron that didn't care about, like, you couldn't embarrass him. That was always him. He was always like that.
I grew into that in high school. In
Yeah.
high school
But
is
he
when
was.
I grew into that.
Well, I met him in junior high, and he was that person.
So there was something that happened in junior high where they couldn't wear pajamas or they couldn't wear something happened. So Tristan goes to school, but he has it hidden. He has this
all day.
He has like this chicken outfit
Hey,
that
I
he's
was
wearing.
sweating all day.
He has like like the onesies basically.
Yeah.
But he has it hidden under his clothes. And we didn't know. I mean, we knew he had the damn thing, but we didn't know he wore it to school. We didn't know he had it under all of his shit. And so he gets in trouble. He gets in trouble, I guess, at the pep rally because he takes off all of his clothes, and that's what he has on the chicken fucking thing on.
I mean, slap on the wrist probably. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't
Yeah,
too
it
bad.
didn't do much to me.
Let me ask you some questions.
So wait, when you were asking about the shower thing, it was just that one question?
Yeah.
That's all? I thought we were going to give, like...
Is there more?
I don't know. I thought you were going to have more. One
I'm not
question?
asking if you're peeing in the shower or jacking off in the shower. Or
Do you
anything.
pee in the shower?
We've talked about this. Yes.
I did it today.
I think that's another... I think that's another guy thing.
No, I know girls do that.
Really?
100%.
Oh,
Would they admit
my
it, though?
Photos don't go back that far.
Would they admit it, though?
Yeah. Tasha tells me she pees in the shower. But why wouldn't you? It's the pooping in the shower where I draw the line.
Waffle stomping.
Waffle stomping is where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old.
That's at the old house.
Yeah, people...
Me in a Jack Skellington onesie.
Yeah.
People stole that from me. Should have trademarked it.
You should have.
Because the first time it got brought up,
Then we hear it everywhere.
I heard on the ticket. I was like a week later, I was like,
Yeah, and I'd never heard of that
No.
till you told me about it. We brought it up on the podcast. That it was episode fucking 12.
yeah. Like I said, you know who told me?
Was your nephew?
Ethan.
It was Ethan told him.
Ethan's the one that told me about waffle stomping. I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
He's the one that told me about
stepping on a shit in
Yeah,
the shower.
Ethan's the one that told me
So-
about it.
so
He
we-
had heard it from something.
We're on episode like 126 right now. We talked about that on episode 12.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
still-
literally after that episode aired, and I'm not gonna say that this is where it all started. I had never
No.
heard of waffle stomping,
Me
and I
neither.
heard about it the week before, like that week when we talked about it on the podcast. And then now you hear it
Yeah.
fucking everywhere.
I swear to God, like a week later on the ticket, somebody brought it up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It was
somebody's
because
poaching our shit
because
already?
even Cody was like, I heard the same fucking thing.
I should have trademarked it.
Dude, like it was like boom
I
boom
really
boom.
look in, see if it's...
That's young Axel
That's
right
young-
there.
young
That's
Axel.
in the old house.
Yeah.
While I was doing the paper mache.
Your piñata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The SpongeBob house.
Yeah.
In the old house. Gosh.
Mhm.
Well,
That
the thing
seems-
is, it had to come from somewhere because Ethan
Ethan knew
told
about
me
it.
and he heard about it from something.
Yeah.
So there's no telling. I got to ask him where he first heard that. Maybe he'll remember.
I don't know where the fuck you heard that from.
That feels like forever ago. Because I remember there was one night
No, he's
y'all were gone
reminiscing.
doing. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Y'all were gone doing something, and I had to cook dinner. It was for me and then for y'all. Addie wasn't there at the time. But I had to cook dinner, and I cooked it. And then y'all came back later. I remember this vaguely. Y'all came back later that night. And Mom was like, oh, it's too... It was ground beef. Oh, it's too salty for me. Daddy goes, oh, it's salty, but I like it salty.
I like salty.
I just remember that very vaguely
Can we-
from the old house.
Since we're here, can we talk about the scariest night of my life?
Sure.
It's ain't the UFO thing.
Mine was Haunted Hill House in the old house where I had to go piss in water bottles
ain't with
because
the-
I couldn't walk.
This ain't with the UFO.
Couldn't walk across the hall to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's ain't the UFO thing, is it?
No. This is like real life, scariest night of my life. We wake up. Tosh and I wake up because my sister says my vehicle's gone.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about this.
Right? I just know
That we-
from my perspective, I just want to know, can you help me
Yeah, because
understand.
we've done this on the podcast before.
Yeah, we talked about this.
About
Yeah, so
this.
Sneaking out?
yeah,
Taking the car.
Oh, but I took Dita's car.
yeah. So for me, scariest night of my life.
Yeah, Jesus
My
Christ.
sister says,
How old was
my
he?
car's gone. We think somebody stole our car, so we're calling the sheriff because we were living with my mom in there and out in the country, so we have to call sheriffs. Come to find out, Tristan's also gone. We didn't know, but originally, no, hold on. I'm telling this all wrong. Tristan's gone.
Mm-hmm. You found Tristan gone first, right?
We found Tristan gone first, and now we're calling him. He's not answering. Now I'm driving to Millsap. I'm driving all over town. My sister calls. I'm on Ambien. Fucking Ambien.
This is Abby and Danny.
This is Ambien Danny. I'm on Ambien when this happens. Excuse me. And Dita says, my car's gone.
And now you're thinking, oh.
So now we know Tristan
How old was Tristan? He didn't have a license.
14, 15?
He was 14,
yeah.
15
Yeah, he
years
didn't
old.
have a license.
Yeah, didn't have his license. He was 15. Didn't have his license. So now Dita hops in the car with me and we're driving all around because she would not let me go because I'm on Ambien.
Probably a good thing.
Obviously,
Yeah.
100%. For some reason, I went, let's drive through the old neighborhood that we lived in.
Mm-hmm. Over there by Beetham and stuff.
It was on
Where
Brazos.
Nick lives.
Yep, I was on Brazos. So when we turned the corner off of 10th onto Brazos where we lived,
Mm-hmm.
there's the car. Pull it behind. Dita's mad. I tell Dita, just get the fuck back. Get Tristan. He hops in the truck. I said, get in your car. Get the fuck out of here. So can you walk me through that night? Because I know what you told me, but can you walk me through that night?
Let's just go through Tristan's brain
let's
at
walk,
that point.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I won't be mad.
Yeah,
I'll be
obviously.
upset.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be upset. But I just want you to walk me through that night.
So this is when I was not supposed to be with that girl, but I was with that girl anyways.
Yeah.
Which,
So instead of you wouldn't let us hang out or nothing or whatever,
Yeah.
it's always the same thing.
I drove to her house that night but I did that several times with Dita's car.
Oh my god.
You didn't know that, did
No.
you? That's new.
Several nights before I've done that several times. So I went over there.
So Dita had an extra set of keys that she hung up on the
So apparently
key ring.
this wasn't the first time.
Okay.
Boom. Went out.
But these are just like so
But
honestly.
this was before y'all had the little
Alarms.
alarms on the
Yeah.
doors.
So honestly, these are just memories, right? Like so like this is stuff you look back on and you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
did this stupid
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I won't.
Yeah, he's
I
not gonna.
won't-
That's why he's not gonna.
That's why I'm not going to get mad because
it's happened.
How am I going to get in trouble?
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
Like,
you're fucking grounded,
Yeah.
Tristan.
fuck. I can't go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
I'm
so
taking your phone away from you, you son of a bitch.
But I went out the front door as quiet as I could because I knew Lola, she was right there.
Right.
Went out the front door, lights off.
Bossy little shit, man. That's
He
some
didn't
balls.
know how to fucking drive.
Obviously, he did.
Well, but I don't know
Enough
how.
to not go 5 miles over the speed.
How
I
did
went
you-
the speed
How
limit
did you know how to drive already?
because
You already learning?
No.
'Cause you were-
I was in the middle of learning.
No, you
He
fucking.
said he was 15.
I've
Oh.
never seen him drive
Okay.
in my life when this was
So-
happening. Like he didn't know
How did
how to
you know how
drive.
to-
So before we moved to
Grand
Lola's
Theft
and we were
Auto.
still in the old house, Kyla had a car before because she was older than I was. She let me drive it
The story keeps
to
getting
her
better.
house one.
This was the girl
one
you
night.
weren't supposed to be dating.
Yeah,
I
she
can
let
see
me.
why.
She let me drive it one night to her house. So I did, and she's like, "Oh, you suck at driving." Da, da, da. So from then on, I was
Jesus Christ.
trying to
So
learn
he self-taught
as
himself.
I was going. You know,
Dark of the... God.
Dark of the fucking night.
That's ballsy little shit.
Okay.
That takes
so
some...
anyway, that night I went out. I was like, okay, it's not too late, but it's not too early, or shouldn't be too early. So I went. Apparently that night the TV was too loud, and Mom came to come in, and she found that my pillows, it was just my pillows was my
So
body.
you made your body, your fake body.
He did the
prison
old,
thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's like any movie fake pillow body.
So I went there,
You gotta make a paper mache
did that,
head.
and then I remember seeing your calls. I go, fuck, I gotta go. So I went. I drove by the house because I was going to try to get to the house before you even got home already. Because I thought, oh, okay, he's out, whatever.
He's out looking for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home real quick, be home.
They get around witnesses.
Even though fucking everyone's awake in the house because he's gone.
I saw sheriffs. I go, this is not good.
I'm not
I
going
turn
there.
back around. I go back to the old house. I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna park at the old house. It'll be fine. I parked at the old house with the car on. I passed out, and then all I remember seeing is my dad. But then I see my aunt just.
So she's on the passenger
Hot
side and
as
she's like
shit,
beating
boy.
on the window and yelling and shit.
through the door. I'm like, fuck. So, but then my dad takes me out, and I don't remember anything after that.
So,
so anything new that you just found out?
yeah,
Besides-
100%.
I mean, you found out that he's
so-
done that more than once.
So, like, when I got in my we're sitting in my truck now. Dita's gone. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on? And he goes, I just missed the old house.
That's a great line, though. That's good thinking.
It was a great line
Yeah, because you had him.
because he was right across the street from the old house,
Because you believed him.
Yeah, because
dude. And it tugged
Yeah.
so hard. I'm
That
like,
was perfect. Tristan.
I'm
You were-
like, dude, and but he also, this is where
I
he,
did miss the old house too. So
Yeah.
it was just like
But-
already there.
But this is where this is the bullshit of it that I was like that really fucking. It's like fuck. He goes, I just hate being at that house, and Pawpaw's not there.
well, I think
not
he
there.
probably that was probably truth. You really probably did hate being.
Yeah, which I did too. I did.
Because
Too.
he used to babysit me, so I used to go over there and he'd babysit me
There's a reason why-
all the time.
Well,
I can understand because
my dad
babysit.
would sleep, and Tristan
Yeah.
just did whatever
Yeah,
the
but I
fuck
mean,
he wanted to do.
But I mean, he was there, right? So, I mean,
he'd make sure, because there was a moment for a little while where y'all would make sure I read a book.
Yeah.
He'd make sure I read that
Yeah,
book.
of course.
So
but
like
I
he
understand.
But they had him and my dad had a good connect. They watched Supernatural
Yeah.
together.
that scared the
great-
shit out of me,
great
but
show.
Yeah,
Great show.
but they had a good connection,
I
which
watched all
I'm very
season.
I
glad
watched that at least five times
Excuse me.
over again.
Supernatural. Yeah,
So it's just I get the feeling is,
yeah, but like he told me that
but that's a good line. I mean, you played it.
it was I miss the old house,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate living
Yeah.
at the house
Without-
because Pawpaw's not
yeah.
there, and I'm just like, fuck, I do too, man. I miss the old house and I hate living there, but we're building a house. We bought
Yeah.
the land. We're in the process of it. Like, well, we're getting it done. You know, we're doing it. You know,
This little slice of a
this
bitch.
motherfucker.
All it was some chica,
Yeah, 100%.
and he just played you like a fucking fiddle.
Also, we've talked about this before because Facto makes this fucking shit makes fun of me so much about it because I was on Ambien so much. Was that this you son of a bitch? Because he sat there going,
The window thing was
he's like,
great.
yeah, I don't fucking know.
Somebody's trying to break in some same place.
Every fucking window in the house had ripped fucking shit on it
that's great.
because you were sneaking out of the house and ripping the shit and replacing it and everything. And so now I'm having to replace every
I gotta
fucking
tell you, he's
every fucking window screen.
he's savvy.
Every
More power
fucking window
to
screen.
him.
Come to find out, this son of a bitch was just
Yeah.
sneaking out of the fucking
More power
house.
to him.
Same girl.
Yeah, must have been.
And he only got found out because he got grounded one time, and we started looking through his fucking phone,
Must
and there's
have
all
been-
these pictures
must
middle of
have
the
been,
fucking night.
Must have been good. Must have been made of gold.
And then I only did it one time with Lexus, and that's it. It was okay. It was 2 or 3 times with Lexus. One time I got caught.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times with Lexus, and then
I remember
that was it.
the house we lived on Hilly Drive when I was in high school. The windows in the kitchen were perfect because they were low
Mm-hmm.
and they were the perfect like in and out escape windows.
Yeah.
Because they were so low right there, you could just and they were behind bushes.
You can just step out.
And if you had, you could even like pull off stepping in even if somebody was awake, and you step in, and you're just in the kitchen at the fridge or something, right in there, boom. It's like perfect. Sorry, Mom, if you listen, but me and Jody used that window a lot. It was always unlocked, and you couldn't really tell. It was one of the windows where you had to really pay attention if it was locked or unlocked.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was behind. There was a long line of the same, hedge.
Yeah, the hedges.
So you'd come, and you could, like I said, you could time it. Okay, there's somebody up, but there's nobody here. Boom, 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 and if somebody happens to walk in, you're just
At the fridge.
You're still in the house. You're just in the kitchen getting.
So
it's perfect.
The one time where I thought I'm fucked. I'm screwed. I'm fucking done. So at the old house, which you were never around for, that I grew up in, which is my parents had that torn down and then they had that home brought in. It was a 2-bedroom house. The second bedroom, which was a master bedroom, quote unquote master bedroom, was built onto that house. It originally was a 1-bedroom house. Anyway, so our 3 boys, me, Carlos, and Sam, shared 1 bedroom.
There's no telling the hellions that.
Well, so Carlos and Sam were gone, so now it's just me, but my sister. So my sister had, between my parents' bedroom, there was a room, and then the kitchen. So that small little room, which was, I would assume, a bedroom when the house was originally built, because it had a closet in there. I don't know. Right off the kitchen. That was her room, and she was real young, because I was still in high school. She's 10 years younger than me, so I might have been 15, 16. So she's 5 or 6. That was her room. I had a buddy that I went to school with, Gary Mahan.
God.
Well, he was out hanging out with a couple of girls, and they were drinking, right? And so I'm at home, and maybe, I don't know when cell phones happened, but they called me. So I know they didn't call that fucking house phone, because the house phone ringing, my parents would have fucking been like, what the fuck's going on? So I had to have been a senior-ish, junior, senior.
You had a cell phone?
Junior, senior year.
I didn't have a cell phone until
I was paying for it myself because I had a job.
Okay.
I went to Radio Shack.
Yeah, that's where I got my first cell phone. It was a Sprint flip phone.
That's what mine was, and you had to pull the antenna out.
And I'd got it.
It was so fucking expensive, dude.
I'd got it the summer after I graduated, paying for it myself. I had the cell phone.
Yeah. Oh, you had the phone
for like a year, but couldn't afford to activate it till
yeah, 100%.
Same thing. Radio Shack, over there by Brookshires and stuff.
So they had to have called. It had to be my senior year then. Call me on my cell phone. No, I know it was junior year because the 2 girls he had with him were seniors.
So you had a cell phone then?
Yeah, I guess. I had
to
have.
Yeah, because you didn't catch that phone before it rang.
100% didn't.
No.
100% didn't. So
He's a balling.
So he called me and he's like, hey, man, we're partying, we're drunk, come out with us. And I'm like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. I was so fucking scared to leave my fucking house.
Yeah, I'm good.
Dude, if my dad and mom had called, they'd have whooped the fuck out of me. I didn't have a sob story like this some of bitch had.
You gotta have just game plan. Huh?
Yeah. So I was like, y'all just come over here. Come to the house.
Yeah, y'all just come hang out here.
Y'all come out to that. Which they can't come inside because
hanging outside.
So I had in my room. There was a window. Slide the window up. It's kind of the same thing.
Hedge right there. Boom.
There was no fucking hedge.
Oh, man, this window was
just
protected
to the ground. And so I was like, y'all come up. So they pulled up, and I grabbed a couple of bottles of liquor out of my dad's.
So now you're still in the dad's stash.
liquor cabinet, but
it's just
he just had bottles of rum and shit in there.
Yeah,
and so they had stuff to drink too. So we didn't end up drinking those bottles, which is awesome.
Good.
So they had stuff to drink. So we sat out on my dad. It wasn't a patio. What it was a well house that was never used while we lived there, and we knocked it down. And my dad used that, and he had built a grill out of just bricks,
like an outdoor kitchen.
But I mean, we're poor,
roughly,
so it's not. Yeah, So he built this shit out of expanded metal, and he made himself a little grill smoker thing. And so we just sat out there. There was a table out there. We drank, which was right next to my parents' bedroom.
Smart.
Like that thing was right next to my parents' bedroom.
Not the brightest, probably move.
And so we just sat there hanging out, drinking.
I'm sure you're real quiet.
Very quiet. So anyway, we end up going back into the house.
You brought them all in there?
We snuck. Well, they're all drunk. I was not going to let them drive. So we snuck back into the house. The girls slept on the bed. Me and Gary slept on the floor. I was too scared to really be like, let's do something.
Yeah, especially in like
in the house where my parents are.
Just in case if they will.
Absolutely not. So my parents wake up obviously earlier than me, and I know my dad had to have seen.
But he's gonna probably be like,
he's like, whatever, because we're the two guys on the floor, the girls on the bed.
Yeah.
My mom was fucking livid.
Coming
She
there with the fucking
lost her fucking shit.
Coming there with the.
Well, I wake chocolate. So I wake up and I'm like, Mom, they showed up drunk. What was I supposed to do? Let them drive home? So I'm not gonna fucking do that. Which was, quote unquote, sob story.
That's good.
But it was.
I see where you get it, Tristan.
It wasn't a lie because they did show up to my house drunk. Now that doesn't mean we didn't sit out there and drink a little more. No, she was still fucking pissed off.
But it took a little heat off.
Took a lot of heat off. Yeah. Which, because it wasn't a lie.
Yeah.
That they showed up to the house drunk. And it wasn't a lie that I wasn't going to let them continue. Because I told them to come to the house because they were drunk and I didn't want them driving. They were my friends.
Yeah.
You know? And so they showed up there. We drank. And then I told them, just sleep on the bed. We'll sleep on the floor. It's fine. I'll deal with the repercussions later. But yeah, it was... It was fucking... Dude, I was grounded. I'm like, Mom, I was trying to do the right thing.
Drunk driving happened to one of my friends, actually. Yeah.
I'm gonna go pee.
One of the funniest things... Wait.
I'm going to go pee. I got to pee. I got to pee so bad. Right. I've been drinking.
Drunk driving, that's
stupid.
Don't
do it,
I hate that just because one of my friends passed away in a car accident like that. But he wasn't driving either.
Yeah,
it was a guy that I went to school with was driving.
So I always told my girls, I said, I always told them don't drink, but I said if you ever do,
have someone else drive.
I said if you ever do screw up where you're in that situation, where you're at a stupid party, and you did drink, and I said, call me because I'll be mad.
But at least you have a safe drive home.
But you won't die. And if you make it home driving while you've been drinking, I'm going to be way madder then than I would if you just called me. Yeah, just don't. And so far, I mean, it's just that's the thing you always get terrified of when your kids get that age, and you always get afraid of that shit.
There was just one random night. It was the guy I went to school with. One of my good friends, and then two other people. So one of the other people he was with, texted one of Lex's friends, be like, "Hey, can you buy us this real quick?" And luckily or thankfully, she said no. But anyways, the guy I went to school with was driving around. Well, they had crashed. The car caught on fire.
God damn.
My friend was stuck in the car and burned alive in the car.
That's what I'm saying. Just don't freaking do it. That's why I always told, I mean, especially Audrey, because she going to parties and stuff. I was like, don't drink and drive, period. But if you're ever driving your car going to these parties, you're not drinking. Don't, I know it happens. I'm just not dumb. I was a high school kid. But I said, if it ever happens where you fucked up and you drank and you have your car, call me. I'll be mad, but I'm not going to be as mad as it ain't worth you getting in a wreck. Or if you get home and I find out you were drinking and you drove home, I'm going to be way madder then than I would just coming to get you.
I had to go to my friend's funeral, and that broke me like crazy.
It's horrible.
Which it was like 2 days later, his grandpa, who raised him, died like 2 days after he passed away. And it like once I saw the picture of him on whatever, on the screen that they showed,
Yeah.
I
It's always the slideshow.
instantly broke down.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Always.
I started crying.
It's always the slide. So a funny story about.
Well, hold on.
Sneaking.
While we're on this, as a parent, I've always told Tristan, like he would, I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to a party, go drink.
I didn't even go to a party.
Well, Tristan
Not
was
once.
Tristan was also not a party
That's how
goer,
Ethan never went to parties.
which awesome, but also did you miss out on some things? Probably. Like, but
I was okay with it.
I also didn't go to a bunch of parties in high school.
I just go to parties now.
Yeah,
Went to a bunch of parties.
but I didn't. But I told Tristan I said if that ever happens, call me. I'll come pick you up.
Yeah.
I would rather know you get
Yes.
home than know that you tried to get home in however fashion, letting somebody drunk drive you, you
Yes.
drive drunk,
And I said, don't ever.
and I
listen
don't
to-
wake up tomorrow with the sun.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Like, I don't want that to happen to
Yeah.
me. So if you decide you want to go to a party, you're going to get drunk, and the person that's supposed to be your DD also gets drunk,
Mhm.
call me.
Mhm.
I don't give a fuck what time it is.
Yeah,
I
I
will
don't
get out
care.
of bed. There was a time he had, just prime example, he got a flat tire at fucking midnight, and he called me. And I drove over to, he was here in town.
That was after a football game on Tuesday.
So I drove at midnight,
Mhm.
took his tire off.
Because I was in that truck, and
That
I had
truck.
no idea how to.
Yeah, he was like, I'm at, he goes, I'm at zero. I said,
Yeah.
you literally, he hit a curb,
Yeah.
which he didn't. He's like, I don't think I ever hit a curb. He hit a curb and fucked his tire up. But I'm like, dude, I would rather wake up and lose sleep
Yes.
one night
Yeah. Don't
than
be
lose sleep for the
Don't be
rest of
worried
my
about
life.
how mad I'll
Yeah.
be that night. Or
And yeah, don't worry about how mad I'm going to be, because that's something you and I can work through.
Yeah.
We can talk about. We can whatever. I won't. Just call me. I won't be mad that night. Not like I'll be mad, but I would rather be mad and know you get home safe than be mad at myself for my life.
Yes.
For the rest of my fucking life, because I didn't instill into you. Just call me.
yeah. Or
And
if
I'll
you do,
come.
or if you do happen to make it home.
And we don't have to fucking talk about it.
No.
We don't have to talk about it tonight. We don't have to talk about it tomorrow. But we will talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you're home.
Like I said, Audrey did. She always did pretty good. She never was much of a. She's a lightweight, but she knew me. She thinks I'm insane
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. So
She thinks. She knows.
I guess, I guess
No,
so.
that night that he came and changed my tire at like midnight, that we had a game at 10:30. But when I had called him, he was the second call. Of course, I called Lex. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be home later than I was supposed to be. Got a flat tire. Got to call my dad real quick. Da 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 da. He was the first
Well, yeah.
first one I thought
That's
of.
always
Oh, I
should
need to
be.
call him real quick so
always
he
should.
can
And that's
help
awesome.
me.
Yeah, it always should be. You always should be able to rely on your dad and things like that.
Yeah, and I don't care
someday-
what time.
Someday that's going to be you.
I know it.
Someday. But one funny little quick story. It's quick. It's nothing. Talking about like getting busted.
Mm-hmm.
So we were at that same house with a secret window. Me and Jody both used it.
Yep.
One of us forgot to unlock it, I guess. So I get there and it's like, I think it's me and Matt probably. So oh, the window's locked. Shit. I only got a key to the front door. The good thing is my mom and stepdad slept with like the door shut. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
We gotta go in.
and here comes Jody and one of her friends at the same time, like coming to use the window. We're both trying to sneak in. So I was like, I remember I'm just like putting the key in, and I get it about halfway, and the door opens, like the key come out, and I'm like bent over, like, and my mom's standing there. I was like, how did you hear us? And she had happened to get up or something, and we weren't doing anything bad. We weren't like, we were just past curfew. It was like
Yeah.
1 a.m. I think our curfew was midnight or something.
That's what it was for us until you're 18.
Yeah.
But that was funny just how because I can still picture like the key
Being halfway in.
and then the door moving perfectly and the key just coming out, and I'm like,
You're standing there
I'm
with
in
the key.
bent over position like this. They always like, and we're all just standing there like this.
So you and your sister.
Well, that's what's funny is me and Jody were at different places. We just all happened to meet at the exact same time, trying to sneak into the house. Right now, I gotta pee.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here's my hook.
We'll hold off until you get back before you finish this up.
Yeah, I was gonna say we gotta be in there pretty deep. Nice and deep, Mike.
Yeah, we'll see. Idiot. You know, I told you, have fun in high school.
I didn't.
Well,
I had my fun not outside of school. That's the worst part. That's the worst part. It was in high school. My two favorite parts when y'all were talking about high school and missed high school was being in the basketball locker room and then playing football. Basketball locker room for a different reason, not for sports,
yep.
but football for sport. Basketball locker room. Let's see, it was from sophomore to senior year. So my teachers did not care because they knew me. Star football player, star whatever. They'd let me go to the bathroom whenever I want, however long I wanted. Yeah. I could take the whole class if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I wanted to respect the teacher a little bit. I'll be back for the class.
Yeah. Maybe.
But that was my getting high point. Just going to the basketball locker room and just getting high.
Yep.
In the basketball locker room with cards, dab pen, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Not actual weed or anything. And of course, not in the school. But
cards?
Carts.
Okay, carts.
So like you have a pen, but then you screw the cart on top of the pen.
Yeah.
So we would do that throughout the basketball locker room. We would go in constantly through every class, but anybody who would get high would go into the basketball locker room because they knew it was unlocked. And when they tried to lock it, during basketball season is when it's the best season. It's constantly unlocked.
Yeah.
Because you have basketball practice at 6 in the morning. No coach is going to remember, after practice, got to lock it.
Yeah.
No coach remember that. So we would just sit in the locker room. No matter what period it was, someone was in the basketball locker room.
Yeah.
Who had anything weed related. So that'd be the best time to go in there.
So his locker room versus my locker room was completely different. Because my locker room, we were doing illegal things, but it wasn't that.
Yeah.
We were shooting craps.
Yes. We all shot.
We shot craps.
We got high.
We called it street craps because that's what it was. So, like me, there would be a whole group of us. And whoever started it, hey, let's shoot craps. And I've got dice. So it's his dice. And he'll throw $1 down. And anybody in the group could throw money down, but the first person that threw money down, now it's me versus Blake, and so now I'm rolling. And with craps, you don't want to shoot snake eyes, you don't want to shoot double 12s. You want to shoot 7 or 11.
That's automatic.
That's automatic win. Anything else is point.
So you roll. There's your point.
So if I roll an 8. I have to roll an 8 before I roll a 7. 7 is craps. So I roll.
Unless you roll a 7 or 11 on the first roll.
Yeah, 7, 11 on the first roll.
I got to turn this off.
Go ahead.
I'm fucking freezing.
Go ahead. 7, 11 on first roll, you win. 7 on anything after the first roll is craps. You lose.
Because the point's been set.
Yeah, because the point's been set, right? But snake eyes, so 2. 1 and 1 on the dice, that's craps. Double 12 on the dice is craps. On the first roll, you lose.
You're talking about 6 and 6?
Yeah, double 6. What'd I say?
Double 12.
Well, 12. Sorry, 12. 6 and 6 or snake eyes. So box cars, snake eyes. But we call it street craps, or I learned it as street craps, because when I roll, at any point in time, the person I'm playing with says, I got those, which means whatever you rolled doesn't count. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it worked against you, because I could have rolled snake eyes when he said, I got those. And now it doesn't count. Now I didn't lose on my first roll. And sometimes you'll say, I got your first and thirds. First and thirds was a big thing. I don't know why first and thirds was a big thing. First and thirds was a big thing. Because first, they don't want you to roll a 7 or an 11, because that's automatic win. And thirds, because if you roll an 8, 8's a big number that can be rolled many different ways on the dice. So they say, if you roll an 8, I got your first and thirds. I don't want you to automatically win, and I don't want you to get your point and then win it on the second roll. Mm-hmm. Was a big thing. So we played street craps forever. Dude, I'd sit in that locker room.
Hitting off the wall.
Dude, and there'd be a big why you dick riding? Why you dick riding? Because what would happen is, if I get on a hot streak, you would be like,
I'm betting
Blake, I bet he gets his point. I bet he gets.
You start betting on their point.
Now you're betting on me to win.
That's how it kind of works in natural craps, like at casino.
Yeah,
you're betting on the roller, and you can bet on, is he going to crap?
Is he going to hit his number?
His point. So if you got a hot roller,
you want to bet with him.
You're gonna bet with him. Oh, he's hitting his point. I'm betting he's hitting his point.
So if I'm hitting, you're going to say, hey, Blake, on the side, let me get that. Let me get that. And you throw $1 out, and Blake's like, "Yeah, I'll take $1 with you," or whatever. And so now I got my bet with him. You got your bet with him, and then other people would bet against me, and so they'd be like, "You're not gonna win it." So now I've got like $4 or $5 out here, $4 or $5 with Blake, and you've got money here and here. And so street craps is what that was. And
that's fun,
dude. I did that forever, and then I started doing that even after high school, playing with buddies, and
took it to the extreme.
And I'll tell you, the one person after doing it once that I refused to ever play craps with again was your pawpaw. Your pawpaw, I don't know what the fuck he had on dice. I could never. Now we didn't play street craps with him. He was just crap. You're just rolling. You're just rolling dice. I could never win against him. That son of a bitch would win every fucking time.
Just pocket in the pocket.
Even the time he'd lose. Oh, he'd lose 2 or 3, but then I'd lose 4,500 times.
That's when he's like switching the loaded dice. You ain't seeing.
Yeah. But he would start shaking the dice, and he'd put them down to his crotch, and he'd just fucking like do this like on the table, like he's jizzing on the table. He'd be like boom, and then he'd just win.
7.
I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Do y'all know Stake?
No.
It's an online casino.
Uh-oh.
Can't play in Texas, of course. Can't play in Texas. So if this podcast comes out, I'm in Kansas. But Jesus, I played that a little bit, and every once in a while I did. I stopped now
because I
started losing money a little bit. But the very first time I played,
this guy's gonna have a bookie beating his knees in.
Shit.
I played blackjack. Got like $50 to play with because I put in 50, got $100. Went to baccarat just to learn baccarat because I had an extra $50 that I didn't
Asian game, right?
Didn't even because you either bet on banker or player. First, the closest to 9 without going over 9.
I didn't know what that was. Okay.
If you go over 9, it drops back to 0. So if you get a 10, it's 0.
Okay.
10 through face cards is 0. Ace is a 1. So you're playing, right? And so I had that $100. Started playing baccarat. I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just learn." Turn that into $250. I go, I'm gonna pull out. So I pulled out. I cashed out an extra $250 in my pocket.
Yeah.
I go, okay. Next time I play it, I was like, okay, I'll just put 50 in. I have that extra 50. I'll just put it in. So I start playing it, lose it immediately. I go, fuck. Next day, let me just try out my luck. Do another 50. By this point, after I won the $250, I was like, okay, I'll just play baccarat. 50-50 chance. So I keep playing baccarat. Lose. Okay. Fuck it. So with stake, you get a daily bonus of like $1, and then you get like this fake cash you can play with.
Mm-hmm.
So I built it up to like $6 or $7. I go, okay, fuck it. I'll just play baccarat with this 7 free bucks I have.
Mm-hmm.
Lose it instantly. I go, okay, I'm never playing this shit again. I stopped playing it.
So you now understand, which I'm sure you already did. That's why Vegas is so big.
Yes.
That's why Vegas is
Vegas
so
always
grandiose.
You know,
Lights and just the flashing everything, because they win money. The house
Vegas
always
always
wins.
wins.
Vegas always wins. They'll lose big
When they have-
big
what-
pots every now and then.
And when they have a guy breaking them, that's got a lot of money,
Switch to dealers.
or they'll ban them from the casino.
Yeah.
Like if they have a guy that's just racking up minutes like a high roller, and he won't lose, just can't play anymore.
Yeah, you can't play. Excuse
Like
me,
they
sir.
can-
We need to ask you to leave
They
the
did
table.
that to because what's his name, the Dana White for UFC. He's been like banned from like a couple of casinos because he was
Winning.
rolling.
there's one
I'll never be banned because I lose.
There was one time where they switched a dealer on me, but then Rob also went to Vegas with his dad. His dad, of course, was giving him money. His dad's a gynecologist.
Mm-hmm.
Luckiest job ever.
I don't know.
But-
I don't
I think
know because he's seeing a lot of ladies, but he's seeing a lot of ladies too that are having problems.
So, actually, taking it back a little bit further, in high school, me and Aiden, once we found out Rob's dad was a gynecologist, we were looking up his reviews. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. So we start dying laughing because Rob's in the bathroom at this point. He comes back and we're just fucking dying laughing. He's like, "What are you laughing about?" And then we showed him the 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. He's like, "No one said he was the best. He's just a gynecologist making money."
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was one time I went with Lexus and her mom to Windstar.
Yep.
We go to Windstar, and her mom was gave us like $20 to play with. So I had my $100 plus, or my $200 plus her 20, right? And I'm playing, and I build it up so I lose all that, or almost all of it, enough to play. I kept playing. I get up to $500. I'm like, okay, I'll just keep going.
That's when you get out.
Switch the dealer on me. I lose one
That's
hand. I
when
go,
you
okay,
get it.
I'm done. Color me out. So they give me the highest amount of chips they could, and then I cash out. And my mom or her mom and Lexus were like, "Where's our money at? Didn't we
Yeah.
I gave you money. Where's my money at? Where's Lexus? Where's my money? I lost
course.
all my money. Where's my
course.
money at?" Hand them $20 each. I go, "Here, y'all go play with that. I'm gonna go sit at a table with $100, and I'll go play with that." I lose that $100. I set the same table, same spot, same dealer. They switched me on, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just set the same table, same spot, whatever." So the same table, same spot. Lose that $100. I go, "I'm done." So I walked out with $300.
It's always
That's
keeps
good,
coming
though.
back.
I mean, I was up 100, but I could have been up
Oh yeah,
another
that's
300.
that's the name
but
of the game.
I refused to quit, so I just kept playing.
Well, I told
And
you.
that's why they send you like free stuff.
Hey,
to get
every
you
day
coming
in-
back.
Almost all the time in the mail, he goes, "Oh, Tristan, you got some more
Yeah.
casino stuff,"
they-
and it's just free nights,
They're gonna
free nights,
They're
and
gonna
then
get you back into.
free
to
buffet,
get that
free
money.
whatever,
Yeah.
free play.
They're gonna
and-
get you
Yeah.
back in to get that money.
Actually,
Yeah.
I need to see how much free play I have. I might
So-
go back and play some free play.
So I went to with your mom. We went to Windstar. I think it was Windstar. And we get there and we each took like $200 each, $400, $200 each. I go straight to the tables. In every hand you lose 50 cents because you have to ante 50 cents. So every hand you lose 50 cents. She's just doing slots,
Yeah.
Oh,
penny slots,
No,
nickel
yeah.
slots, whatever she's doing. And I lose my $200 fast as fuck.
Yeah, like
Fast as fuck, boy.
like 30 minutes you're done.
Oh yeah, because I start winning.
So you start betting more.
Well, no, I start winning, and then the table starts winning, and they switch dealers, and so the first dealer that we had, she was great. Like she was very personable, and she's talking to everybody, and she's like,
she's the break-in dealer.
Yeah. And then they switch, and this motherfucker was a robot. He was like, boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Done. Yeah. Take all your money. Boom, 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 boom. Done. Take all your money. And so I moved to a table, and this dealer was good. And I'm doing okay. You know, I'd win some, lose some, but I wasn't like down. I was
breaking about even or something.
And then it switched dealers. And then it's just like lose, 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 lose. And then all of a sudden I don't have any money left. And so I go find your mom, and I'm sitting there watching her play slot machines, which I fucking hate slot machines, but at the time, and now I think I love slot machines because it seems like, number one, you're not losing 50 cents every time. And she all of a sudden she wins like $700. I'm like, cash out. And I think I told the story before, cash out. And she's like, I'm going to keep playing it. Blah, 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 blah. And she loses like $100, and so she cashes out. And then she finds the same machine somewhere else in the WinStar and lose. She ends up losing every fucking bit of it. I'm like, cash out and just put more money in. She's like, but this ticket. And I'm like, but that ticket is your winnings. Like you've won.
Yeah.
So cash that, put it in your back pocket. Don't mess with it.
I don't trust them tickets like that.
And just
something could be could be like tracking on it. It's all electronic.
And now just spend the money. Like spend the cash.
Like I said, how do you know that ticket?
Yeah.
It's all electronically traced.
Isn't like
how do you know when you don't put
barcode thing?
How do you know that ticket you're not plugging in? Be like,
they've won too much or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, screw that. So
but is $700 too much? Maybe, I don't know.
No, but they want it.
But she lost every bit of it. Like, and I'm like, and she gets down and like, just cash out. You've got us both. Like we're above $400 with what you have. We came with $400. You're above $400.
Yeah, we can leave and we had fun and we
had fun. We had a good time.
We didn't lose any money.
And she loses every bit. And I'm just like, fucking. Because now it's, once you get below that $200, now you're like, now I've got to win it back. And you never win it back.
Like Chaska's mom likes to play a lot. Not as much anymore. And she always would usually go to Choctaw.
They have free bet blackjack. But my favorite thing to play is blackjack.
But she slots, and she'd just go by herself.
Oh, she's a slot?
She'd go by herself driving another. But she had a good like system going because she would be like, okay, here's my gambling money, right? Like, I'm going to go down there with $100. If I lose it all, fine. If whatever I win, that's going to just the playing money.
Yeah.
So when she goes the next week, she's just pulling from
her playing money.
She's not pulling from her like a bank account.
Yeah.
And she can play with that playing money for months.
Yeah.
Because she just likes, she's not expecting like if you hit it big, cool, but she just likes playing the slots.
Yeah.
So if you can play, and she's basically playing with free money because it's just money. Never like people that get in trouble is when they take 200.
Yep.
They lose 200, and then they go hit up the ATM
for 200 more.
200 more, and people get lives ruined from that shit.
Yeah.
The last 2 times I went, I played slot machines. I normally just like to sit at a table and play either blackjack.
I'm telling you need to go 3-card poker.
The last 2 times
Electronic poker.
Huh?
Electronic poker when you.
Oh yeah, that too.
You could win some money on that one.
The last 2 times I went, I played slots just because I was like, or not just because, the tables were all full. Could not play blackjack or anything if I wanted to. All full. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just play blackjack because I'm not going to sit and wait for somebody just to get up at the table because they're not going to.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go play slots. Well, there was the very last time I went, I'm playing at this one machine next to this old Mexican lady that's sitting right next to me, and we're playing, talking, playing together, just boom, 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 boom. But she has the more expensive one, where like if she wins a bonus, it's bigger than my bonus.
Right.
So I end up winning a minor, which was an extra $100. Hers was $250. So I boom, 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 win it. and I win the mini. I was like, fuck it, because it took me. I only pulled out $100. I was like, I'm only playing with $100. I get down pretty low. I go, Rob, take my card, get another $100 real quick.
Oh God!
And I'm gonna keep playing. Boom, 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 boom. I got up to $300. So that's 200 that I started out with.
You're up 100.
I'm up 100. I go, I'll pull out. So I cashed out, got the 300, because Lexus gave me the 100, because we were doing this thing where she got her 100, she's gonna give me 100 to play with. So I gave her 100 back. I have my 100 plus my other 100. I go, you know what? We'll just throw that extra 100 in there.
Like I said, it's free money, right? You still have your 100, so you're up.
Yeah, I won it, so it's not money that I made.
It's free money,
but it's money that was there.
It's the house money. Yeah.
I kept playing, got that down to $40. I go, okay, it's time to pull out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, most people are going there just to play and have fun. They're not, but there are the addicted gamblers that are spending their paychecks on that shit, and they hit it big once.
Last time,
like a really big one.
Yeah. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000.
They've been chasing that ever since, and they're just ruining their.
The very last time I ever played tables was when I won a $500. $500 is the very last time I played tables. Yeah. But I plan on the next time I go is to play baccarat, because I feel like I've got it figured out.
Shit. And that's why they got you.
Chance.
That's why they have you.
I've got it figured out. Yeah. I promise. If you give me like because on stake they give you like a little sheet. Oh, player won this one, banker won this one, whatever. They give you a sheet. If you show me the sheet, I can tell you who's going to win next.
And that's why the casinos win your money.
If you give me the sheet, I can tell you who wins next.
That's why the casinos win your money.
There's always a pattern, especially on stake. When I won that extra $250, I went off that sheet. And because that sheet had a pattern. The thing that screwed me over is when they switched the dealer. Mm-hmm. But there was this lady that she was there for a while too, but I won like $250 off her, and I played 2 hands with a new guy, like a guy that they brought in. Lost 2 hands, I said quit. But it was the same pattern almost over and over and over again. I knew what to bet every time to win me that $250.
Pagao is that Asian one, right?
Yeah.
Not Baccarat.
You would think,
Pagao is the Asian
Baccarat is one. If you go to WinStar right now, Baccarat, there's only Asian people, and they're bringing $1,000+ to go play Baccarat.
Nope.
I promise that we can go right now, and there's going to be Asian people filling up a table of
so
Baccarat.
It's Baccarat and Pagao then.
And they're just fistful of cash, just going down and betting on something. You don't need chips to bet on Baccarat. You can place cash down. And they'll just use your cash as a bet.
Yeah. Not me. I'm out. Blake, you got anything else?
So, real quick. Next week is fun times.
Well, hold on. This week is Easter, by the way.
Yes, it is. We got Easter Sunday coming up. We're at Easter. Good Friday tomorrow.
We were going to...
Actually, now.
I had that off.
We were going to cook out Saturday. We're going to have, we're going to sit here and grill some shit and just have, rather than Easter Sunday, we're going to do it Saturday. It's supposed to rain all day Saturday.
Yeah.
Isn't that some bullshit?
You got a covered back porch.
Even if you don't, I'm going to Saturday.
Well, you got a covered back porch.
No, I know that, but we were going to be outside. We were going to hang out outside.
Yeah,
now it's fucking raining.
If you don't, I'm going to.
Yeah. So Easter Sunday next weekend.
No matter what, because we're gonna play beer pong either outside with buckets that we have. We had buckets for a big basketball.
Well, you could just
beer pong.
Most of those are broke now.
So we can use cups on a table.
You could just set it up in here.
Rob really wants to play beer pong.
Okay.
Last time we played beer pong, Rob had a lot of fun, and he wants to play. So we're gonna play it.
Okay.
So even if you don't cook out, I'm gonna cook out.
Okay.
Which I texted you that the other day.
Grab that white table, do it underneath the carport, and I'll have your mom pull herself out.
Yeah, so
Hey.
he wants to do that. He's been wanting to drink with me for a while. So, which the last time he did was when we went over. Addie came with us. It was last Saturday. Last Friday.
Addie drove him home.
This guy.
Last Friday. No, Alexis drove her home, and then Rob took me home.
You let a guy drink and drive you home?
No, he had like 2 beers. He's fine.
This motherfucker.
He had 2 beers. He was fine.
So anyway, it's Easter Sunday,
Yeah,
Easter
but
weekend.
next
Draft's coming.
I was gonna say next weekend's your weekend.
But that's fun. Like I said, it's not. We love the draft.
Yeah, we do.
Talking about it's our. We call it like our guy Christmas. It's like we cook food for 3 days. We drink beer for 3 days, and we watch the draft. We have a good time.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Saturday. So Thursday night is draft round 1.
Yep. I'm gonna go pee while you're talking about
Fridays 2 and 3, and then Saturday's the rest of the draft. And we just have fun with it. And
Am I invited?
yes, you are.
Okay.
I was telling Daniel, and it's right down the road. He lives off Swanson. So you basically go down the hill, cut that way, drive across Old Millsap Highway, and you're at his house.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, he'll take me.
Yeah.
I'll
So,
drink.
Yeah, that's where when he's going to watch the Cowboy games this year at my uncle's house. That's where we do the draft. It's
Okay.
right down the road.
I'll go.
Yeah, like I said, we cook all kinds of food for 3 days straight. Pork butts and
This weekend or next weekend?
next weekend.
Okay.
Like I said, Thursday night is round 1. It goes from like 6 to 10 on Thursday night. That's round 1 of the NFL draft. Then Friday night it goes from like 5 to 10, and it's rounds 2 and 3, and then all day Saturday from like 11 to like 6, it's the rest of the draft. And we just have fun. Like I said, we just hang out. It's a good time. I already told your dad y'all should come because it's right down the damn road.
We should go.
And it has,
We
like I
should
said,
go.
like I said, even if you're a Cowboy hater, you don't care. We focus on the draft. It's fun. My uncle, this is his thing, so that's why we're really into it. My uncle has
We can go. I don't give a shit.
my uncle will have 400 players on his list, and only 262 players get drafted. So he'll know all the undrafted free agents. He watches videos. He writes his own personal, he's a draft scout. Like I watch it and I'm into it. I know a lot of players. He takes it to another level, and he just keeps getting deep. The older he gets, the deeper he gets most draft scouts should pay him because he's right a lot more than they are.
Jerry Jones stepping down. Did y'all see that?
No.
I saw that, and I was
that guy
like, oh my.
the only time he steps down is when he will die.
There is.
I called Lex. I was like, I think Jerry Jones is stepping down. I think it's about time.
No, he'll be like
I mean,
he'll be like
time, but
he'll be
no.
like Al Davis. He will go till he dies.
Have you seen the NFL script has been released in the Dallas Cowboys? Have
That's
you
why
seen that?
I always tell
Doubt
people
it.
if the
Doubt it.
if the NFL was scripted, right? Every year was laid out and everything.
Yeah.
The Cowboys would have won by now.
Or would they have?
They would have.
I don't know.
That would have set us up for later.
So the new script,
30 freaking years, I
like
think they
the
would have
new
won by now.
script, is that the Cowboys they draft some receiver.
Yes, there's McMillan from Arizona. So there's 2 receivers this year that are the
Say the names.
people argue.
Okay,
that
say the names.
you got McMillan
Not him,
from
okay.
Arizona.
Nope.
And Golden from Texas.
Yes, that one.
Golden is the fastest receiver in the combine. He ran a 4.29.
Damn.
So they're saying
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, and I would
And-
be psyched if
I ran a
for one
4.4 in high school.
4.29.
So
And he wasn't even supposed to known for people knew he was fast, but he was more known for great route runner, great hands, sideline stuff. Texas people didn't know he was going to be that
But
fast.
just throwing that on top of everything
yeah.
else.
So he's
so here's a script.
he is linked to the Cowboys.
Here's a script.
That'd be badass for one that's a Longhorn going to the Cowboys.
Cool.
Shut up.
Anyway, Dak hurts his hamstring.
Okay, he hurts his other one.
I went down. He heard something.
So Dak hurts.
That's the scary thing. About
Dak hurts his hamstring.
Yes.
Mid-season.
Okay.
So new quarterback Milton
yeah.
takes over.
The Tennessee kid.
Dak comes back, hurts his other hamstring.
Well, the same season.
Same season.
Okay.
Milton
Just
takes
comes
over.
back
Tell him
again.
to quit football at this point.
Yeah. And so
So he's gonna get hurt twice.
because the fan base loves Milton so much and the way he takes the Cowboys on, even though they say the Cowboys will be 4-13
Oh,
this year.
I saw this one. So they released Dak next year.
Release Dak next year,
yeah.
and Milton is the savior of the Cowboys.
So I'll tell you about Milton. I looked at my draft notes from last year on him.
Milton Bradley.
Was that the guy who
So he was the quarterback for Tennessee.
went up? Sorry, just went up and they're talking about how far he can throw.
No,
and-
yeah, he's got crazy.
It was that guy, right?
So Milton's like 6'5", 240. Monster. He ran a 4.6.
How tall is Dak?
40. Dak's like 6'2".
Shorty.
But no, this
He's as
guy's
tall as I am.
hey,
What a loser.
That Milton
What a
guy's
loser.
6'4", like 240, 235, 240. He ran a 4.6, which is pretty damn good for a guy that
I
giant.
run faster than him.
The guy
but-
weighs. You're not
Loser.
You're also not 6'4", 240.
So
So the notes last year when he came out of the draft last year, and New England drafted him.
Yeah.
Rocket arm, like I remember there was like video of him at Tennessee. He threw an orange 100 yards, like from one end zone to the other.
Same as a football.
Yeah, but he has a huge arm. But my notes was like footwork's ugly. Throws get away from him. Like he's got a crazy strong arm. He can run, but his accuracy's like crazy. Like his footwork's like all over the place, which you can't fix.
Yeah.
And he played in like the last game of New England's game. That if they would have lost, they would have had like possibly the first pick in the draft. But Milton won it like against like he came out and played pretty good and they won. So like I think he cost them like a bunch of draft picks. And then they got the May kid from North Carolina. So that's the quarterback they're rolling with. So they traded Milton off to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Minimum pay, big guy that can run, pretty physical. But that's the guy that they're talking about. Like
He's the savior of the Cowboys is what that draft or the script has said.
Hey, if they did draft Golden, what's funny is they have so many holes.
throw me in.
Hey,
Throw me in, coach.
Hey, they got so many holes that at picking at 12, it's hard to fuck that pick up. Like they could do it. Don't get me wrong.
Talk about Charleston.
But oh god damn it, I just saw that he signed with like one of those UFF teams.
Yeah.
The minor league like football. He just signed with one of them.
He just signed with The Rock.
And what's funny is like Kenny knew like when we drafted him, we were so because T.J. Watt was there.
The name is what I think they drafted the name more than anything.
T.J. Watt was there, and he was linked. Like it was sad before the draft started that the Cowboys liked T.J. Watt, and he's sitting there. And I remember Uncle Kenny throwing his notebook of players.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they drafted for one Golden, I think is arguably the best receiver in the draft,
And would help out.
and he's a Longhorn.
He helps
We
out.
never draft Longhorns,
And he
ever.
helps out with a quarterback that can't fucking throw the ball. So that's
Put me
cool.
in, coach.
I'm ready to play. Tell him to call Jerry up.
I will. I'll call
Jerry,
him right now.
Jerry, if you're listening, we got a flag football.
Jara.
We got flag football QB1.
Hips are on point.
That,
Hey, put
that
me a
knows how to
receiver.
shake them hips. Give him a call. Give him a try. Well, it's
Oh, Blake's tired.
1:17 in the morning.
You're 117. It's 118. Just so you know.
Somebody has to get up and go to work tomorrow.
Huh. Only me.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, and you don't have anything else, I guess we'll see y'all next week. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.